We're confident with the way we play. It stood up for the first, the home and away season and the first final. So the expectations is that we go out and do exactly the same as we've done all year, and hopefully the result will take care of itself.
Had a wonderful season. Good luck for the day.
Thank you. Very excited.
It's been thrilling football that both the Southport Sharks and the Morningside Panthers have provided this year. Southport in particular, they broke the competition record for the most points scored in a season. Had they kicked 3 more goals, they would have broken the records for the highest average number of points scored in a season. That was from one of the great Cooperoo sides, I want to say the 2014 side, which, funnily enough, was coached by the man coaching Morningside today, Damien Richards. Someone who didn't play for Cooperoo at that time, but played for Cooperoo a little bit later on and won a leading goal kicker award in this competition. She's also a 2-time premiership winner in this competition herself with Coolangatta in 2016 and Wilston Grange in 2018. I am talking about Jamie Stanton, who is also the current Queensland coach. Hello, you overqualified woman. You, Jamie, welcome to the grand final.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Queensland side this year, obviously you had a lot to do with the players on the ground. We're going to profile a couple of them shortly. But the quality of this competition in terms of ball movement and backing up the play, this is something you strove for when you played at this level. It's now happening.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see, especially with, at the moment, there are no AFLW players playing in our top tier comp, which is when I was playing, we were AFLW players that were striving to make this comp look like that, because that's what we wanted to do at the AFLW level. So the fact that the competition can now do that and prepare players to move into an AFLW space is awesome.
We do have an AFLW player here today, but I think she'll be running water. That's Taylor Gregory, who's come back with the Sharks this year. Look, you don't have to pretend that you did not have a part in getting her to the Sharks, but putting your side aside, what a great story of Taylor. Actually, I'll just put you on hold because the Morningside Panthers are about to come onto the field. It is an amazing story. They had a Morningside Wildcats team in the competition back in the day. They did win this competition twice. The club was at Morningside, but not of Morningside. 2013, they packed up the operation and moved to Cooperoo. This Morningside women's program is different. They have the full support of the club. They have the full support of the facilities. And today, Courtney McDonald is leading the Morningside Panthers onto Brighton Homes Arena in a grand final. Greta Lilcocker, vice-captain, breaking the banner at the same time. Courtney McDonald, a legend at Yeronga, made the decision to leave Yeronga and move to Morningside this year. Hadn't won a game for 2 years. Lucy Bellinger and the luckless Georgia Hewitt came across. Hewitt unfortunately had to be omitted from today's grand final. But Bellinger, a former Brisbane Lion, and Courtney McDonald now playing in the grand final. First time since they won with Yeronga in 2020. The Morningside, they do play a contested game most of the time, Jamie, but they can play a very expansive style when they want to.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what type of style they roll with today, obviously playing against the Southport juggernaut that can do nearly everything. So it'll be interesting to see if they go with a more defensive style in their contested brand, or if they try to actually outplay Southport on the boundaries.
Part of the breakout star this year, and someone that you took to Tasmania, the number 10 for Morningside, Izzy Levine, who, not part of any academy program, came from nowhere and has had an outstanding year.
Yeah, it's obviously a massive credit to Damo to be able to, improve Izzy over the last 12 months. She was fantastic for us down in Tassie. She is a contested beast. She plays very hard in and under at the contest and is massive in their clearances. So she'll go obviously directly up against a bit of Maddie Watt, and we'll see how she goes.
Laura Roy had an outstanding year. Spent the last couple of years at University of Queensland, but was a Morningside junior. Last year I thought she kicked the ball away too often. This year that left foot's finding targets a lot more often, and I see that as being more dangerous. How have you seen Laura Roy last year in this?
I think potentially your conversation around her left foot ability maybe had a little bit to do with her teammates that she was playing with last year. She's obviously playing in a way more competitive side this season around, which allows her to then use her strength, which is her disposal efficiency.
Southport Sharks, they've been here before. They lost in 2022 their debut season in extra time. Last year, they achieved what they've been trying to achieve ever since they started the senior women's program. They are the reigning premiers, and this year, well, put it this way, there's been a few coaches that I've had conversations with this year where we've said if you put Southport in the AFLW, where would they finish? And we usually don't say last. And I will say, Jamie, we do have the Sun tonight, just so you just say that. But
that's I would love to know these coaches. I don't think they've played an AFLW game, so interesting call.
No, we're allowed to have opinions because we've never played an AFLW game. We don't know what we're talking about, Jamie.
No, I just think that's a really interesting call.
Sure.
There is a standard increase, and I think you spoke about Taylor Gregory before, and I love Taylor, and I've been on Taylor's journey, and I think she's an absolute beast of a ruckman, and she will be an absolute fantastic AFLW player, but she at the moment is dealing with the jump in what AFLW looks like compared to QAFL, and the most important part is speed and the time that you have with ball in hand. And a lot of these Southport girls potentially have the capabilities to be at the AFLW level. We'll see what that looks like today.
I hate it when you give me a reality check, Jamie Stan. Maddie Watt, one of those players on screen at the moment, one of the outstanding, I've been known to say that she is the outstanding player of this competition. But what we can say is that in the Bond University QAFLW, she's the best ball winner and ball distributor.
Yeah, Maddie Watt's been fantastic at that for many years too. She's consistently been the best inside mid for this competition for a large amount of time.
And the other thing I like about Maddie Watt is that, first of all, I think she's great on her own, but then it's what she allows Steph O'Brien, Kira Zarafa, and the other inside midfielders, whoever that, Sunny Lappin, to be able to do as well. Like she's a very generous player, if that makes sense.
I love Maddie for the fact that she knows her role and plays her role to the T. Her job is to go get the clearance and just give it to somebody that has a higher chance of disposing of it more effectively. So her handball game is absolutely massive for them because it gives it to somebody who uses the ball better. And it doesn't say anything bad about Maddie. It says she understands how to play the game and what is best for her team. She's a fantastic teammate. And
from that, I think what you're saying is that if she was in a different team, she'd have the skills to be able to adapt her role to what that team needs.
That's exactly it.
And I'd like to add some numbers to back that up as well, which is in terms of effective disposals in a QAFLW match this year. Sorry, not effective. Well, she's high on that as well, but with effective handballs, I think she's got the top 7 on the list. She's just in her own league in terms of someone who's able to handball around. I think she had something, she missed 5 games this year, and she still had the most effective handballs in the competition by about 30% over her nearest rival. It's just crazy. Kira Zarafa, the number 21, just bouncing the ball towards us at the moment. A bit like Laura Roy, last year I thought she was a bit of a blazer. Had a very good left foot, and she could kick long, but didn't always find her targets. I've seen a different Kira Zarafa this year. What have you seen? Oh,
totally agree, and I think that's part of the reason why she came with us down to Tassie to play. But like I said before, the blazing away tends to be the players you play with, which isn't the case in this standpoint for Kira. It's about the speed and time of the game. So Kira came from the NT. Speed and time of the game's a little bit slower up there too. And then when she comes and plays QAFL, speed and time of the game increases, and then the AFLW is the next jump. And that's why I would probably ask the question of those coaches to say where you think those girls of speed and time will happen, because a lot of those girls are on AFLW train-on lists.
Which I'd like to see released, by the way, so I could give them a little bit more, just give them a little bit more of a pump-up in commentary as well. And I should just say at the moment that I've clearly touched the nerve with JB. She's got an injured ankle right now, and I'm still terrified. I'm absolutely terrified of it. The Southport side at the moment, Matt Lappin, clearly, like last year under Peter Doherty, it was a game plan where it was very continuous football and hard running. Matt has taken that to the... I'm too scared to call him skinny, but Mr. Lappin has taken that to another level this year. It's like, well, let's move the ball. Let's be a state league team that handballs, that runs in support. I'd love to see a 5,000 metre track race between this side, because I reckon it would be not far short of Australian Championship level. I mean, Rihanna Shipp, I'd love to know what her 5K time is, because she is an elite runner.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to run a 5K, to be honest with you, so I don't think you're ever seeing that time, to be honest. But, yeah, look, Skinny's been a fantastic addition to Southport. I think, like you spoke about, his game knowledge one, but then his ability to then bring that to the women's game has been really impressive. And what Skinny's done, like you spoke about already, was he's taken a team that was already really successful at the contest and then taken them into a really impressive offensive juggernaut, which is the best thing to set those girls up to play and move into an AFLW space, which is what this comp is all about, is either playing at the highest level you can do, or can we move you to play at an even higher level.
I can be a little bit critical of some of the media attention on the players yet to be drafted, but I don't think we can ignore the elephant in the room, which is that there is a lot of elite under-18 talent on that screen at the moment. Dakota Barron and Georgia Davis are probably the ones that are getting the most attention. for some reason. Maybe it's because Dakota's one of the best contested markers under 18 we've ever seen in this country, and Georgia. I like to sort of provoke the Davis family by saying the sisters get better as they get younger, but do I say it to their face? Of course not. I'm not silly. But the elite young talent's incredible.
Oh, I'm definitely not saying that to Darcy's face, because she will hit me at training
Mm-hmm.
for sure. And I do love Darcy, so I can't say that. But
You'll get a text message in a moment saying
I
to
will.
hit me.
I will.
So.
That's it. No, but obviously Dakota and Georgia are fantastic weapons. They're fantastic weapons because of their ability to move at their height and size. Like, they're athletically extremely gifted for their height, but the way they both move and can play on the ground is what makes them extremely impressive.
Thank you so much, Jamie Stanton. We'll be hearing so much more from Jamie during the broadcast. We are now about to go down to the ground for the national anthems.
And on behalf of AFL Queensland and our naming rights partner, welcome to the 2025 Bond University QAFLW Senior Grand Final between the Southport Sharks and the Morningside Panthers. Today we play our grand final on the traditional lands of the Yugambeh people, and AFL Queensland would like to pay respects to their elders past and present. Would please welcome our Bond University QAFLW Premiership Cup ambassadors to present today's Premiership Cup. Representing Southport is Jenny Webber, who is part of Southport Women's Football Program in the Football Operations Team. Jenny served as the Juniors Competitions Manager for the Gold Coast region and has been involved in football for over 20 years, being honoured with a Junior Club Life membership at Southport. And representing Morningside is Tammy Lauritsen. Tammy was captain of the inaugural senior women's team at Morningside in 2018 and has been a champion of Panthers football programs, including Premiership Captain, 2024 AFL Community Female Coach of the Year, and tireless supporter of Queensland football. I'd now like to invite everyone who is able to join our players and officials in being upstanding for the playing of the Australian National Anthem.
I'm sure they were taking it respectfully, but there were a few giggles in the Morningside lineup during the anthem, which makes me think that someone was intentionally singing off key. I'm not sure if that's something that happens there. One thing I will say, the CAP ambassadors, that's where I was going to, apologies for that. Jenny Webber from the Southport Club and Tammy Lauritsen from the Morningside Club. We've got a big cheer, and she's someone who I think most people think will coach at least at this level, the QAFLW at some point. Back in the 2018 Grand Final, which is when Jamie won with Wollston Grange, there were two very young Cup ambassadors that day. For Wollston Grange, there was a young girl by the name of Mia Gear, who has now won the last two Goal of the Year awards, and this year's Grogan and Zilke medal will be on a week from now. And for Cooperoo, it was Edie Fraser who made her senior debut early this year and kicked 7 goals on debut. So, while, first of all, brilliant for bringing out club legends like Jenny and Tammy, I hope that for future years we occasionally bring out the talented kids and see where they go in the future.
Yeah, well, both those kids are extremely talented. Both featured in the Queensland State team this year, and Mia will be one that I think definitely features across an AFLW platform in the future.
We just saw Damien Richards on screen. Nice bit of symmetry here. The last time a team won a grand final debut year was Cooperoo in 2013 when Damien was the coach. So he's caused upsets before. The context of that game was he came up against Yeronga, who were on what is still a record 27-match winning streak at the time. They were down by 31 points midway through the second. I, for better and worse, keep more stats than anyone else about this competition. I have not yet found a bigger comeback. So that 2013 grand final is of historic significance. Look, Southport are clearly the favourites today. I'm not expecting you to, if I ask you for a tip, Jamie, I'm expecting that you'll probably, plus, just cards on the table, you have had some Southport connections in the past as well. But what kind of a game are you expecting today?
Well, I'd like to be right as well, so that was probably where I'd go as well. But I'm really curious to see how Morningside, what their coaching group has decided to implement, because we can all sit here and beat around the bush, or we can be honest. We think Southport is the more capable team, and then probably the more capable team on paper, and throughout the competition they've been capable. So it'll be interesting to see what Damo has dialed up for them.
They are ready. It's the match they all want to win. The 2025 Bond University QAFLW Grand Final is underway. Southport in black and white running to the right of your screen. Morningside in their familiar tricolours running to the left, which is probably into the wind. The umpires for today's match, and congratulations to them for their appointments. Jack Pledge in his very trademark white cap, Lucas Cosme and Jackson Whittle. Mitchell Blashak is the emergency. On the boundary, Lucas Richardson and Seb Sharp. And in goal, James Sakasiris and Liz Smiley. And at the moment, they've had a bit more to do than they're having more stats than the players, let's put it that way. Georgia Davis starting in the ruck up against Teresa Dixon, the Queensland Masters ruck. She's had an outstanding year in the hitouts. Across to Zarafa. Zarafa within range. She's 45 out. Has a shot. The goal square is empty. Kira Zarafa has the opening goal of the granny.
What a fantastic bit of play by Southport. Rocked really well by Georgia Davis, handballs out to the ball user in Sunny Lappin and gets the ball moving forward. It's interesting, Morningside had the spare defender back there too, and it actually got bypassed. So it'll be interesting to see if that defender can get a little bit more going and actually generate some momentum going forward.
What I liked about Southport's setup there was the ball was handballed to Zarafa, who's in support. I don't think she was the only option for that handball.
No, there were multiple, which is a concerning sign already.
So Southport, they've already had one enormous win today on this ground in reserve grade. Sunny Lappin had a breakout season. Maddie Watt with a handball. I'm shocked. Sunny Lappin at the back again. Just evades the hands of Tyler Crabtree. Brilliant first year since moving up from Victoria. Hacked around the body by Olivia Marr. Good to see her taking her place in this grand final after missing the semi-final. Kylie Lawrence playing her third grand final. Lost a couple with Cooperoo last decade. Looking to get a win today. Mackenzie Sleep, left-footed, normally in attack, now playing in defence. Melita Watts, who's come across from Surfers Paradise this year, now playing in the QAFLW Grand Final. Switches to play to Michaela Nurse, whose 5-bounce run went viral. Davis just not getting the ball at the back. Lucy McCormick in the pink headgear, getting a second opportunity. Crabtree put pressure on her, and then Levine brought to ground. Everyone misses it. Laura Roy just had to hack kick in that occasion. Gets an effective disposal as Bellinger came a long way back. Roy with the follow-up effort. Was under pressure, but still got a strong kick away. Hunter Alder. McDonald went through the middle. Lee Alder playing her 99th game in this competition today. She's another one who's lost 2 grand finals. One with Coolangatta, one with Southport. Missed last year, played reserve grade instead. Nurse gets free of Peacock, Lappin, Zarafa. Zarafa, I don't think, made a single handball last year. It's been a big improvement in her game. Spots the player on the 45. Good attack at the back. That came from Neva Bell, who's been brought in for this game. Fell to Marr. Olivia Marr up towards the hot spot. Dropped by Barron, but she's got space. Dakota Barron brought to ground beautifully by Hennessy. Maddie Hennessy with an outstanding goal saver.
Oh, interesting decision.
You can comment further. You're entitled. Barron off the ground, and then there was an ankle in the way of the goal. Tiani Brown snaps around the body, well taken by Gracie Roy in the goal square.
That's a 50-metre penalty. You can't. Okay. Nope. Dakota knows the rules. She is an experienced player.
I'd like to congratulate Jamie Stanton on her umpiring appointment to the 2026.
Thank you.
She'll be there. Back to Lily McDonald, a grand final expert, courtesy of her time in Melbourne with Murrelbach. Greta Lilcock, like my co-commentator, someone who played at a pretty decent level with the round ball game and switched to the oval ball game. Ball taken by Zoe Petrides, a very talented 16-year-old. A real goal sneak. Comes out wide, well taken. I believe it's Peacock. It's not, it's McElwain. Another of the Sweet 16s in this Morningside outfit. Has Mackenzie Sleep wide. But I haven't let her go, Southport, but she's gone inside 50. Had to go to a contest. Front position was held by Alder. Petrides tried to go across, ended up going straight up, taken by Lappin. Early goal to Southport, and then just a settling period. And Baldwin playing in defence, which is where she began her career, but she's currently the all-time leading goal scorer for Southport in this competition. A rare error kicked away to Gracie Roy. Handballs to Arthur. Well charged down by Rihanna Shipp. Georgia Davis brought to ground. There was a case for holding the ball, not paid, and then there was maybe a case for high tackle, and that one's been paid. Olivia Marr has the free kick. Jamie Stanton wonders whether to speak.
I'm not commenting anymore on the umpiring.
That's okay. I saw a bus and I thought I might throw you under,
yeah.
but it didn't work. Shipp and Suckling. Emma Suckling, someone I rate at this level.
I've learnt my lesson. But it's really interesting to note that both teams are actually at the moment playing with a spare behind the ball, which I think suits Southport and their ability to move the ball.
Is that because they're faster? They've got them all running in them?
And I think they have the higher disposal efficiency.
Well, that they do. That's mathematically proven.
And they'll be able to use it on the fighting for the outside, getting out in space, where I'm not sure Morningside have that athletic capability.
Probably not yet. I will ask. I'm guessing that because she's at the Lions Academy, you possibly haven't seen too much of number 58 Annabelle Peacock yet, but I thought she was best on ground in the pre last week. Is our light and level on the other wing. Just goes through the hands of Zarafa and then is hacked forward by Stella Scott. Contest on the far side with no real likelihood of a winner, despite Georgia Davis's best efforts, possibly thrown away from the ball before she had possession. Stella Scott has a second opportunity. Bellinger getting in for help. Lily McDonald guarding the ball well. Georgia Davis still looking for crumbs. In the end, it's Shipp who found the crumbs on the outside. Has time for a bounce. It's a hard surface here at Brighton Homes Arena. Evades the diving tackle of Arthur, but maybe you could argue that Arthur caused the subsequent incorrect disposal.
That's fantastic pressure. That's exactly what Dana would be after from his team, is giving them everything they've got.
Very new to football, Arthur, but last year I think she was ranked number 7 in Australia for CrossFit.
Oh, wow.
Another one I'm not taking on. Georgia Davis with the intercept mark. Olivia Marr, what an asset she's been. Has played some VFLW, then went up north and played for the Thurengale Bulldogs. And had a wonderful match for Queensland. Intercepted by Gracie Roy. He just seems to read the game better than most. Across to Lucy McCormick. That one had a bit too much on it. McCormick has a chase. Was that a lucky bounce or an unlucky bounce, depending on your perspective? Called a lasso, but I think it's off Barron.
That's not the way we interpret a lasso in there for WL.
Good to know.
But
question has been asked, but what I will say is I think that's consistent with what's been in the previous few rounds and across this year. But I do take your point. Laura Roy just missed it. Megan Fogus on the ground. Started on the bench. Got a captain a few sides in this competition. Very high opinion of Megan Fogus. Did play one game for Geelong in the AFLW a few years back. At the front. I don't know whether she ran into Teresa Dixon, but it's fallen to Sunny Lappin. Lappin looking for a target, only found McCormick. McCormick switching the play, didn't get any purchase on the kick at all. Was looking for Sleep, under a lot of pressure. Turned over to Rihanna Shipp. She loves a long-range goal, Rihanna Shipp. Not this time.
Olivia Maher is someone I would not want to run into, which makes her a fantastic small forward.
Yes. The difference between how fierce she looks on the field and how sweet she looks up close is quite something. She's a lovely girl, but my goodness, there's the right kind of white line fever.
Yes, definitely is.
Never dirty, but always fierce. Towards the contest. Oh, Georgia Davis. Well, she had the mark and then had it stolen from her. It was picked up well by Crabtree on the bounce. Play breaks down. It was Melita Watts. It was trying not to fall on the player. Didn't quite work. Well, I guess at this stage, it's in Morningside's interests to keep it a little bit messy. Peacock tried to get the handball. Lappin got the arms up. In the way. Davis, I think, possibly took a tumble and ended up on top of that contest, but no free kick forthcoming, and I've got no issue there. It's a quick pace, but hasn't quite found the width this game at this point. Goes past Suckling, but she'll be first to it. Never shirks in putting her head over the ball.
It's really interesting that Daniel's got both of his ruckmen out there at the moment. I'm curious to notice they're doing that to try and counteract Georgia Davis and her ability around the ground, or if they're trying to do two rucks for a particular reason at the contest.
Are you counting Gracie Roy as the second ruck?
No, Ella Gibson.
Ella Gibson, yes, sorry.
And Teresa Dixon.
Yes.
They're both out there playing at the moment, which is interesting. Two interesting players to keep on the ground at the same time.
Falls to Lappin. McCormick gets herself in the way. Interesting handball. Thrown to the ground, and that will be it's one of those 50-50 free kicks. It has gone to Southport. Olivia Maher with a set shot that you'd expect her to make 90 times out of 100. I could have said 9 out of 10.
And that's just one of those handballs to Ellie Gibson, who's a ruckman. So she's still learning, she's still young, she's still developing. But you give her a hospital hand pass. As a taller opponent, as a taller player, it's hard for her to actually get that out cleanly.
Olivia Maher in the pocket, comes off the side of the boot. But yeah, good points, Jamie. Essentially, you're talking about the balance of the side, and on that occasion, it cost them because they had the wrong player
in the wrong spot. Yeah, she's a ruckman. Let her do her job in the ruck. I wouldn't have her spare behind the ball, but you know, you've got to work with what you got, right?
May also be a case, are they trying to outmuscle Southport and in constricting the play and maybe cutting off their width, which is, they had a lot of players out that night, but it's how Cooperoo beat them a couple of months ago. Maybe they felt, well, let's get some bigger bodies on the ground early. I'm just trying to get into Damien's head here. In a good way. Dixon with the ruck contest. Zarafa crashing through. Ended up not taking the ball with her, so concedes the free kick to Greta Lilcock.
But you want her doing that again and again and again. That's exactly what she needs to do at stoppage.
I wouldn't disagree with you anyway, but I definitely don't. Kicked away, and so Morningside's inability to string passes together is hurting them. Suckling with the intercept mark. Not quite taken by Crabtree. Gets the handball straight away to Ship. McCormick has been getting through a mountain of work in this first quarter, but she is isolated. Had 3 Sharks to deal with. Did well. Regardless of any Olympic 5,000 metre comments I make at the moment, we are seeing the difference in running at the moment. I like to exaggerate. Yeah, makes good stories. Fogus at the back. Didn't need to get there in the end because having Crabtree underneath the contest. Southport in control, but not adding to the scoreboard as frequently as they might like. Having said that, it seems to be a good foundation to build for the rest of the day. Ship, some magic stepping, gets towards the hot spot, and Olivia Maher didn't look like she used her strength because she simply held her ground. But there was a lot of pressure on her, and she looked like made it look like there wasn't.
It's funny, it's the subtle body work. It's the pop of the hip really late to not allow her defender to come back into that space that she was holding.
Olivia Maher missed with one set shot. There is some wind out there. And a lot of these players are used to playing on grounds where you don't have a 2-story grandstand or clubhouse that covers an entire end of the ground. And so it does slightly change the way that you take set shots if there's a bit of wind around. And basically I'm quoting Taylor Smith there because I've got no idea what I'm talking about. Olivia Marr, brilliant footwork, brilliant body work from Olivia Marr. Gets it back towards the goal square. Mackenzie Sleep loses it. Is under a lot of pressure. Just got it away from Caitlin Miller. She's appealing for deliberate. Not given.
And Taylor would know this ground really well, so probably a good person to quote.
Well, she was the last AFLW player we had co-commentate in the grand final, and you were the two who tied for leading goal scorer in 2020. Free kick to Morningside. Jack Pledge spotting a bit of body work. Third member of the commentary team we have today is Ash Newton-Spence. Ash, how are things looking down in the down at boundary? Actually, we'll just hold that for a moment as Southport just look to get back towards goal. It's taken by Ella Gibson. Gibson with the clearing kick. Hit her teammate in Graham on the knees. 3 goals for Morningside against Southport in the semi-final. Their only goal scorer hits the deck. Just got Ash Newton-Spence on hold. Break and play. Ash, how's it feeling down there?
Lots of movement down here on the bench, guys. A bit of a note that Gracie Roy, you were talking about her before, she had a little bit of strapping being put onto her calf about halfway through. They couldn't hear me.
Thanks very much, Ash. Southport moving the ball from left to right. McCormick again. That's holding. I'm not sure that she had any other options. It's been called a ball up.
Oh, that is a fantastic tackle, though. Put some pressure into those defenders to think next time it might go again.
Good play will always have a result, regardless of whether it comes from the umpire. Hannah Davies on the field, who just knocked off that one. Bounce goes straight over the top of Bellinger. Well picked up one-handed by Rihanna Ingram, who had time to change her mind 3 times, and the Morningside defence couldn't get to her. Spills wide to Crabtree. Bit of cleaning up done, and just done what was necessary. Gracie Roy.
So Southport haven't been able to put their dominance on the scoreboard yet, but they are dominating this game by field position, but more importantly, Morningside can't find a mark. They can't slow play down. They can't stop Southport becoming inside 50 at the moment.
And I'm not sure there's, apart Georgia Davis aside, although she's probably matched by Teresa Dixon, there's not a massive amount of difference in height between these two sides, but I dare say the difference is things like physical strength, and Olivia Marr was Exhibit A before.
I think it's probably got more to do with their ability to read the game and where the space is, and it's actually the players up the field.
Follow-up question in a moment, but they've got goal side. Marr ducks under a tackle, had time to set herself, maybe needed a nanosecond more. You sense, though, it's not going to be an unlucky day for Marr. It's just she's had a couple of misses early, and once she finds her range, maybe she'll end up with a bag.
Yeah, she should have already had a half bag, but yes, no, definitely. She's being significantly dangerous already in this first quarter.
Most goals in a grand final by one player that we know of, Jessie Wardlaw kicking 6 for Cooperoo in 2019. Caitlin Miller, not the kick she wanted, but it may work out all right. Gracie Roy, who I think by any objective measure is probably the best marker in the Morningside team. A lot of work to do early. Going for the switch of play. I think was trying to go all the way out to Arthur and gets there eventually. Arthur with enormous physical strength. Kick is high enough. Megan Hunt just took a slip behind Harley McElwain. Lee Alder cleans up. Alder to the edge of the 50. And maybe the second best mark is in the family, Laura Roy. Again, not a clean kick, which suggests a bit of frustration, just maybe felt she was under a bit of pressure. Someone who hasn't been under pressure her entire 151-game career in this competition is Megan Hunt. Beautiful work from Crabtree. Then just missed the contest, and so Gracie Roy, well, you could argue that's an uncontested mark.
Southport just need to find a cool head going inside 50 at the moment. They're trying to rush the play, even though there's one-on-ones. They just need to hold, settle, and allow the forward to get into their lead.
Georgia Davis with a strong tackle. And that's a Lappin. Lappin with a lower driving kick. Steph O'Brien. And that's a not fully fit Steph O'Brien. The fully fit one's pretty scary. And Megan Hunt's going for a 6th premiership today. Steph O'Brien's going for a 4th, and she's only been in this comp 5 years. Won every award, usually more than once, and Steph O'Brien has a grand final goal in 2025.
That was a very tentative kick from Steph, so you can tell that she's definitely hampered by that ankle that she's been carrying. But I was speaking to her earlier today. I don't think she's played in the grand final in a while that she hasn't been injured in.
That's a very good point, actually.
Normally by the back end of this season, she's usually carrying something because of the way she approaches the game.
Well, she's full on, and also once people knew what Steph O'Brien brought to the competition, she became a target as well. Like the, I mean, I've seen one successful tag on her, and that was a player from Aspley named Maddie Kawa, who did a wonderful job on the preliminary final in 2023. With the one time she lost, she got beaten by a tag is the one year she's missed the grand final. That's what it takes. Southport getting it forward again. Hannah Davies, an air swing, but she was being held. Kylie Lawrence over her, and then a bit of rugby breaks out. Izzy Levine hands it back to Jack Pledge. It's Southport's quarter. They have all the points. A goal in the opening minute to Kira Zarafa, and then Steph O'Brien in the 19th minute. Jamie, some highlights will appear on screen for you to talk over shortly, but yeah, please talk us through your impressions of the first quarter.
It's interesting at the moment how the game's playing out. It's a very contested style. You mentioned that earlier that Morningside more often play that, and they've definitely come with that approach. They want to go really hard at the contest, get Southport a quick kick forward, get that turnover from their spare, and then try and generate the outside run via switch or potentially just changing lanes. And we've seen that from Gracie Roy quite a few. And you just mentioned before, Danny, around how she tried to go too far across the ground and ended up getting there on the bounce. But that's their plan. Their plan is to play more of a defensive style at the contest, hopefully put enough pressure on, ball comes to them, and then they can generate. At the moment, they're doing half of it right. They're turning the ball over in their D50, but they're not able to generate anything on the outside because they've had to suck too many numbers back, that there's nobody up in that next kicking layer to kick to. So they have to go sideways and not on a diagonal slightly forward to get that relieving mark. They're just going sideways in their defensive 50 and just in more pressure in your own defensive 50.
Thank you very much, Jamie Stanton. It is quarter time. Thank you for joining us wherever you are, around Australia, around the world. Those of you who are former members of these two clubs and are cheering on from interstate, thank you for joining us. This is the Bond University QAFLW Grand Final of 2025.
Inside this building is a simulated hospital ward, a high-tech biomechanics lab, a commercial kitchen, and a whole virtual home. Let's explore the new Bond Institute of Health and Sport in just 61 seconds. This is the 12-bed simulation hospital ward. From day one, Bond students gain hands-on experience in allied health and exercise science. This is the Work Play Lab, which gives students the opportunity to provide occupational therapy for our youngest, while the Activities of Daily Living Lab simulates a full home environment, giving students the chance to practice mobility work with our wisest. From sprinting to golf swings, this track can track it. Using pressure sensors and high-speed cameras, it can analyze anything from age-related conditions to elite sports training. Wow. The Kitchen Lab has solar-powered sustainable cooking stations, giving postgrad nutrition and dietetic students access to commercial-grade equipment. Thank you. Why don't you come and check out the Bond Institute of Health and Sport for yourself? Did you know Bond students have been in every Olympic since '92? How do they do it? I've got 61 seconds to race you through the life of a student in the Bond Elite Sport program. Strap in. Bond is known for its prowess in the sporting domain, supporting student athletes like Mia. Student athletes have access to flexible study loads, adjusted academic requirements, and tutoring. The top tier of student athletes even receive funding to assist with their travel and competition costs. Bond also runs 4 high-performance sporting programs that field competitive teams. There's netball, rugby, AFL, and swimming. With incredible facilities throughout campus, it means you can easily transition from this to this. Whether it's producing world-class athletes or offering scholarships to high-achieving students every single year, sport is alive and well at Bond University.
AFL 9s, it's footy for best mates looking to be teammates. Cardio fiends after a bit of competition.
Legends of the game, looking at making a comeback.
There's footy for when your week's pretty cooked. Or for fitting it in between classes.
It's footy!
It's footy.
It's footy!
It's footy for me.
Quarter time at Brighton Homes Arena in Springfield, home of the Brisbane Lions. It's wonderful to have this facility, plus of course People First Stadium, that we're able to play the 2024 Grand Final and have that as a venue. Kira Zarafa had the opening goal of the Grand Final. And hello to all the many players who have been following her career and her junior career from the Northern Territory. There's a very big immigration that happens between Queensland and Northern Territory seasons across the off-season. I'm sure plenty of these players on ground, including the two on screen, the Roy sisters, who spent a lot of their youth in the Northern Territory and began their Aussie rules up there, despite coming from a rugby league background in terms of their family. But they're playing in a grand final now, and they've been two of Morningside's better players. Zarafa and O'Brien, the goal scorers, that's what they're playing for today. And more clubs are starting to proudly display those trophies in their clubhouses. Second quarter underway. My name's Daniel Vales. You'll hear from Ash Newton-Spence a bit later on. And Jamie Stanton, unfortunately injured Gold Coast star, with me at the moment as they go back to go forward through Michaela Nurse, who then got her legs taken out from under her just as she released the kick. But players allowed to continue. They're inside 50. Hannah Davies hoping for a kind bounce. Mackenzie Sleep was all over her. Davies recovers. Tried to go back inside the Crabtree. It was knocked down. Morningside unable to clear. Comes out, well, there has been a free kick, and it's gone to Morningside in the form of Greta Lilcock. That was confusing.
Extremely.
Coming wide. This is what Jamie was talking about before the break, where they're trying to connect up and switch the play. Comes off Michaela Nurse. Well kept inside by Crabtree. Floats it inside, where Georgia Davis takes the easiest mark she'll take this year. Inside to Lappin. It's like a future Gold Coast Suns training session, although Lappin has options. Davis hits the ground. Back to Watt. Maddie Watt scored a few goals this year, whereas not always on the score sheet in past years. Gracie Roy clears long. Beats Roy, beats Lappin. Arthur chasing. Ship circumnavigates everyone because she's just an elite level runner. And then inside to Baldwin, who's been moved out of defence. Baldwin inside 50. Barron just had her run blocked, and Peacock did well.
It's great subtle defending there.
Being chased well by Stella Scott. Lily McDonald tracking well, ends up with the ball. Back to Hunt. Her vision's insane. Up to Zarafa.
Barron's currently in the deep inside 50 with no one near her. Not sure that's my smartest move.
No, if I was a defensive coach, I wouldn't be saying, you know what, just leave Dakota alone. She'll be fine.
No.
So. Free kick to McCormick at right halfback. Didn't have a free play. Lily McDonald got first hands to it. Maybe a bit lucky to go over to Bellinger. Her handball was intercepted by Alder. Over the top to Watt. Zarafa. Zarafa on the kick. Had the radar off target. She was being spun while she was trying to kick.
So this is where they need Harley McElwain to come up to the contest and provide the long down the line, because they're probably not switching it from this standpoint. With the player that has the ball, maybe doesn't have that skill set in them, so there's going to be a long down the line. So Harley needs to get up and get herself involved.
I'll ask about the balance of that in a moment, because Harley, of course, is the full forward. Laura Roy. Superb work. Then runs into a bit of traffic. There was a second whistle, but allowed to play on. Bellinger had her hand pulled away from her. She was trying to handball. It was clever defence. Laura Roy and Hannah Davies. Everyone hits the deck.
So your question around traditional positions is irrelevant, girls. We only have 5 forwards, so you need them to play space, not magnets on boards.
You're absolutely correct, but that was only half a question. I didn't get to make the point that made me sound sensitive. So
apologies.
Fogus was crashing through, somehow got a fist to the ball. They're able to move it forward to Lappin, who was well positioned at the front of the contest. Goes inside, McCormick misses. On the run is Ma. Olivia Ma has time for a bounce. She's had a couple of misses. She has a third miss. It's not going to last. So my point was going to be, which is much better than the one I actually made, McElwain coming up a long way from full forward, which then has the effect of often just having the leaving no one forward.
Yep.
Is it a case of switching positions, or is it a case of just everyone's got to come up and then you build from there?
Well, at the moment, they can't get it over halfway, so they need her to take that mark to then allow them to go over halfway. And if you bring her up, you're probably wanting a small, speedy player out the back.
Which they have. Thank you very much, as Lappin delivers it on a platter to Olivia Marr, who's capable of winning ball much tougher than that, but that one was delivered on a silver tray.
Will be interesting to see how she goes through her, if she goes through her routine and what it looks like, because after 4 misses, you're in your head and you're very frustrated with yourself. So she needs to go back, follow her process to then ultimately, hopefully, keep the goal.
Quick steps at the start of her run. Was a full swing of the leg, or did you see something stabby?
It looked like the ball drop was a bit high, which then forced stab process after. So. But Olivia right now will be in her head massively. So this is probably not her day. She might be looking to start dishing some of these off soon.
If you're the coach, do you just make a rotation for a moment, maybe just have a calming word in her ear, or do you leave her out there and let her work it out?
Oh, I would have thought Skinny would have spoken to her already at quarter time, and we're so early in the second.
Bit of a fly from Rhianna Ingram, unsuccessful, but it's allowed Morningside to get out the back. McElwain getting front position, has time for a bounce. Outside her was Petrides. She was able to slip a tackle. Arthur, the small, speedy forward Jamie Stanton was talking about. Tried to draw a push in the back, didn't work. Rhianna Shipp is everywhere because she just runs everywhere. Falls loose. Blyton tried to get it through. Bellinger!
So that's sort of the play that I was envisioning in my head. McElwain gets the ball higher up the ground to then allow the ball out the back to a speedier player. I still want Harley up the field. She's a fantastic talent, marks the ball efficiently well, and moves really well as a key. So if I was Namer, I'd be getting Harley up the field as much as possible. You want the ball in her hand. Out of that forward line, she's the one I wanted in.
Of course, the other young talent who was up there making the tackle was Zoe Petrides, who basically blocked off the path that Rhianna Shipp had out of defence. They combined well, but no, I'm going to grant you that as calling it early, because you got Harley up the ground, and Simone Arthur plays everywhere. I think she's named on the wing today, but yeah, she's the kind of player who has obviously the fitness, but also the speed is part of that.
And Southport's defence is their slowest part of their field. So if you can bring Harley up to then generate speed out the back, it's going to have a chance of putting scores on the ball.
It's out of the middle. Might have been Levine who got the clearance. Not quite able to connect passes, but it's easily Morningside's best passage of the game, which is not exactly the cleverest thing I've said today. Sleep was able to release. Tiani Brown, haven't seen much of it today. Kylie Lawrence tried to come the other way. Ball was knocked loose. Play stops. Yeah, I suppose the disadvantage of having Megan Hunt 151st game and Lee Alder at her 99th is that you've got 250 games of experience, but maybe their quickest days are a little bit in the past.
And somebody who's not athletic or not as athletic as other players myself, I can say this, their ball users and their game sense and game knowledge is smart, but they're not there for their athletic ability.
Beautifully put as Michaela Nurse takes the intercept mark. And she probably is there for her athletic ability.
She's there for both. She's an absolute jet.
Been very impressed this year. Turned around. Not quite taken by Hunt, under pressure from Petrides, who's showing she's got the forward pressure. Nurse broke a couple of tackles. Tried to get it to Zarafa, who turned a missed ball into a tackle. Falls forward. That went to Sienna Graham. Graham looking for the contest. McElwain! A little snapshot of the future.
So then that's the flip side of having Harley one-on-one inside 50 on her own. If you can have the ball in your forward half, you want her inside 50 on her own because she can do that. Fantastic body positioning, used her arms really effectively, didn't push in the back, just held her arms there, which is the difference in that rule, which is really good. Hopefully she can slot the goal.
So Harley McElwain, the 2 goals behind Morningside. Distance is good. Harley McElwain, a 16-year-old, has a grand final goal.
She's an absolute impressive forward and will be something for the Lions to look at for the future to add to their already impressive AFLW roster. But it's interesting, Morningside have come out this quarter with, it feels like a little bit more ferociousness around the contest, and they're just fighting and scrapping to get the ball forward, where they were trying to allow Southport to kick the ball forward to then go. They're now seeming to actually generate the forward movement to start with.
Just trying to see if there's been any personnel changes for Southport in the midfield. Like, is Maddie Watt out there at the moment, or?
No, she's currently on the bench at the moment.
And I'm not suggesting that she's the one player who can solve everything, but sometimes it's just interesting when there are different combinations out there, whether...
Tried and true, right? You trust Maddie to get the job done.
Ball not out of the middle. Laura Roy's starting to rack up the possessions. Didn't get a disposal that time, was wrapped up.
Ella, drop! Ella, drop! Ella!
And Zarafa just holding her face. She's probably copped a stray limb, I'm guessing. But her eye has felt better in her life. Lilcock. Sleep. Yeah, it was high contact. Crabtree. Crabtree into the pocket. Didn't quite result the way she wanted. Barron spins away. Nearly twice. Will need a contested mark. Not taken by Fogus, but knocked it to her own advantage, which she does so skillfully. Back to Ship. Didn't really have anywhere to go. Back to Watt. Handball's loaded Davis, who picked it up very well.
It's nice to hear the crowd starting to get involved.
I will know that women's football is being properly respected in this state where I hear this kind of noise in round 5. Well, like they do at the men's, where there are people who just turn up every week because that's their Saturday routine. That's what I want to see.
If women's football's played in the men's time slot, it might.
I share your opinion, and I have occasionally said that to people, yes. So.
Well, it just depends on what time slot you get put in, depends on whether people can turn up or not.
Preach it, sister. Dixon versus Davis. Watt.
Great vision.
Great execution as well. Back to Lappin via Suckling. Lappin showing her jets. Kicks from 50. It's a low driving kick, but standing in the way was Ella Gibson. Play inside 50. It's turned over. Going inside. Not sure it would have gone 15 anyway. No one able to hold on to it. Fogus suddenly had some space. Megan Fogus from about 20. Megan Fogus settles the Southport Sharks.
So that's fantastic forward pressure by Southport, but that's the downside of the game plan that Morningside is playing, is that when you have the spare behind the ball and you take the mark and then you don't get the ball outside D50, you're putting your defenders under pressure. So when Ella takes that mark, she needs to look at potentially getting the ball up and outside their D50 to not allow that pressure to be applied.
Thank you, Jamie Stanton. We'll just go down to the boundary to Ash Newton-Spence. What's the mood like?
Mood down here is really interesting. A lot of noise coming from Morningside. Obviously just a little bit of noise coming from Southport just after that last goal. Interesting you guys mentioned Maddie Watt before. She did come off about 10 minutes ago, or maybe 5 minutes ago, with a bit of a hit to the ribs, which I think might have been hampering her out there.
As Sunny Lappin breaks out of the middle, goes through to Crabtree. She gets it further forward. Defenders are able to get in the way for Morningside, but not able to take possession. Miller. Eventually it goes out wide to Fogus. She does love a goal. Diving effort from Mackenzie Sleep. It didn't really work. Steph O'Brien has a double.
And that's just reward for effort in terms of girls turning up to the spill ball from the Southport's perspective. None of that was pretty. That's just getting the ball forward and winning you one-on-one. Interesting to note, though, again, Dakota Barron's running around inside 50 with no one even near her. I wouldn't want to play on her either, but someone needs to.
I'm trying to work. I'll have to keep a closer eye on it, whether that's... It can't be tactics. It has to just be a drop in concentration.
Dakota's a forward. She'll take you to the ball. I don't know what you're losing your concentration about in that regard, but you must be right, because it definitely wouldn't be tactics.
Neva Bell, outstanding young talent, brought in for this game. Charlotte Howard played the preliminary final. Couldn't be risked in this game, just carrying a bit of a niggle. So, and apologies, I've said the wrong name. It's Georgia Hewitt. Charlotte Howard's also missed out, but Georgia Hewitt was the one I was thinking of. So I'm assuming she's here, but she's definitely been a part of this Morningside push this year. So Southport have restored the lead to 18. But Morningside have scored twice this quarter. They have some belief, but Southport have hit twice very quickly. Dancing through the middle. Not quite make it, but Fogus has been probably the best player on the ground the last 3 or 4 minutes. Suckling, dealt with a bad bounce, got the handball over the top, found Ingram. Ingram had a couple of options, found Nurse. Nurse will go inside 50. Gracie Roy's underneath the Barron! You were talking about reading the flight of the ball before, Jamie. Barron can do that 360. It's not going to be a surprise. Sonny Lappin received it, played on, Lappin!
Just absolute brilliance from two gun children that'll end up in the AFLW next year. So Southport will lose a few weapons going for their potentially third grand final win if we continue on this pace. But just a fantastic read by Dakota using her strengths, which is her ability to read the play and get up and take the mark at the highest point. And then the vision to switch it, to not be selfish like forwards can be, but to recognise that somebody was in a better spot. And why wouldn't you want to give the ball to Sonny Lappin? She's a fantastic user. She maybe hasn't displayed that to her best of her ability today, but she is one of the best users in Australia at her age.
And I think the advantage that people like Dakota have had, and I suspect, I mean, Maddie Lappin's certainly doing this with Southport, but I think a lot of coaches are doing this, is that you get more praise from a coach if you are Dakota Barron in that situation and you see a player with no one on them and you pass, rather than if you blaze away, even if you get the goal.
Yeah, 100%.
Southport winning clearances, not at will, but they are winning them. Turned over to Levine. Forward to Bellinger. Hard attack from the back from Baldwin. Began her career as a defender, dropping back into defence because she can. Michaela Nurse gets around Peacock. Not the sweetest kick, and it still works out all right to Crabtree. Inside 50. Miller not able to take it. Apologies, that's Brown. Outside to Davis, well brought to ground.
That has to be balled. She has the ability to get rid of it, succumbs in the tackle.
I'm nodding. Sorry, I probably should have said yes at some point. But it's, it's bounced away from Zarafa, getting forward towards Davies. Brown somehow turned that into a disposal. Sleep at the bottom, and then a strong tackle to lock it inside 50 from Maddie Watt. I can report that any sirens you can hear in the background have nothing to do with this grand final. Zarafa with a tackle.
So Morningside have +2 on the defensive side of the ball here, which leaves Southport with a +2 in their half. So even if Morningside win this and kick the ball forward, it's just going to bounce straight back in right now.
Is that damage control, though? Is there a point where you think, okay, right now we don't have the momentum, we simply have to accept that that's the reality and play a bit negatively?
Yes, but then their kicking out needs to be extremely smart, and they need to be aiming for boundary lines.
Well, Lizzie Levine's got the first chance to see if you're right. She at least found the contest, but then it's lost thanks to some clever work from Ingram. The handballing is slick. Ship found a way to kick it, just landed in front of Tiani Brown. Squeezes wide. Nurse just took a collision, but wore it well. Knocked forward, the handballing's swift. The defence was on to Davies quickly. Tiani Brown knocked it forward to Davies, who I think was facing the other way by the time the ball came. Dangerous kick across the face of goal. I'm not sure that was the intended direction. Ship. Ma gives her a shepherd. Ship has time to recover. Back to Zarafa. On her left side. Kira Zarafa goes for goal. Kira Zarafa! That is a grand final classic.
What a fantastic finish. Obviously, it's nice to have a left footer in that pocket, but more importantly, Skinny would be thrilled with the effort of Olivia Marr here. The 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe she went for 4 shepherds of Ship and Zarafa before that goal goes through. They're the things that make grand finals and grand final teams, is those effort plays.
Team defensive side.
I think also, now first of all I want to say that I love Aussie Rules statistics. I'm very grateful that we have iSports in this competition. Of course, Ash Newton's been down the boundary, spent a long time working with champion data. But people are going to look at Olivia Marr's output today and go, gee, she missed a lot of shots, she had a bad game. What she just did doesn't get a start.
No, it doesn't. And it's way more important than what people give credit for too.
That was something I tried trying to learn as a commentator so I don't become one of those people. Laura Roy working forward. Hacked forward from Gracie Roy. If that's not touched, and well run through the experience of Alder. But Southport briefly caught napping. And Gracie Roy nearly made an attempt to steal goal of the day from her fellow Northern Territorian, Kira Zarafa. Maddie Baldwin clears. Contest hits the ground. Laura Roy handballs inside to her big sister. Gracie Roy looking inside 50. Fell to Petrides on the edge. Just outside. Ash Newton-Spence standing by, but we'll see how this play goes. Petrides into the middle. Needs a contested mark. Didn't get it, but it fell fortuitously to Graham. Comes back out to Zarafa. Tried to clear. Had her arms taken away. Comes out to Ship. Arthur over the top to Petrides. Got a horrible bounce. Fogus outside 50. Needs a settling mark. Barron's come a long way back. Comes to Hannah Davies. Goes back to go forward. Fogus broke a couple of tackles. Dixon turns over. Fogus brought to ground. That'll just be called ball. Ash Newton-Spence, what do you got?
Just a lot of excitement after the Zarafa goal down here on the bench. I heard one of the assistant coaches saying she practices that a lot at training, so not a surprise from down here that she got that one through.
The great Australian hockey coach Rick Charlesworth would always say there's no such thing as flair, it's simply superior practiced skill. Every time we think we're seeing magic, it's usually because of training. Free kick to Simone Arthur. Thank you very much, Ash Newton-Spence. Swinging kick. Goes back to Baldwin. I didn't give enough credit to Baldwin. To Hunt. Well positioned, finds Nurse. Had a 5-bounce run a couple of weeks ago. Went around the country. She's had 2 already. The PB is on the mark. 4 bounces. Inside. Oh, diving mark. Brilliant from Olivia Marr. You can argue that maybe if she'd been better positioned, she wouldn't have had to dive. And then the unselfish play that Jamie Stanton pointed out before. Found Caitlin Miller in space. It's beautiful to watch.
Oh, it's fantastic to watch. But it's also great ball use. Maddie Baldwin switches it out to Megan Hunt's good ball user, gives it off to the person that's better at running and utilising the space that's in front of Michaela. Great disposal inside 50. And then Marr does what I thought she might after a while and passes it off. Caitlin Miller's been quiet today, but she's a fantastic shot at goal, so I wouldn't be surprised if this goes straight through.
Caitlin Miller had some time with the Giants. Maybe they could have used her yesterday. She's a good shot at goal, Caitlin Miller. Number 7 for Southport.
Oh, Giants didn't need anybody yesterday. I'm quite happy with how that game panned out, excluding my injury, but that's okay.
Just while there's a break in play, obviously today it's all about the players on the field, but there's a lot of love for you around Queensland, Jamie, and we would like to know how your ankle is at the moment.
Yeah, it's still there, so it's fine. We'll figure out what the goal is this week when we get some scans done, and hopefully it's positive news at this stage. To be confirmed.
Well, look, my magic wand is in for repairs at the moment, but if I had it, I'd make it better straight away, Jamie, because we'd love seeing you out there.
Thank you.
And congratulations on 50 games for the Suns yesterday as well, racking up the milestones. Megan Fogus gets a kick on her allegedly weaker foot out wide, beautifully brought in one-handed by Greta Lilcock. Was there a bit of dairy product on that? Was she trying to milk it? Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Was looking for Blyton, just missed her. Petrides chasing. She gets the run around on the outside. She may still score from here. She's got a bit of a magic factor about her. The fly from the back from McElwain was unsuccessful, but it would make a great photo. It was a long quarter, but 5-2 for Southport in the second term. Their goals were scored, 5 different goal scorers: Megan Fogus, Steph O'Brien, Sunny Lappin, Kira Zarafa, and Caitlin Miller. But the first 2 goals of that quarter went to the Morningside Panthers, courtesy of Lucy Bellinger and Harley McElwain. Jamie Stanton, very different second quarter, maybe the similar result.
Yeah, very different second quarter. Morningside came out obviously with a really strong contested game and played a bit of forward half footy, and it resulted in a couple of goals. Unfortunately, they couldn't maintain it, and Southport obviously got on top with their ability to use the ball from stoppage and open up some expansive play.
Entertaining play from the Southport Sharks, who really is on brand for what they've played this year. In round one of this season, they broke the competition record for the highest one-team score in a game. They then broke that. Yes, it was the bottom of the table side, but it's not like they're the first QAFLW team to play a weak side in history. They still put the absolute sword to them and played thrilling football.
They're an absolute offensive juggernaut, aren't they? So their ability to kick scores and put scores on the board is not surprising. It's obviously going to be interesting to see how Morningside go at trying to nullify that in the second half.
So with a 35-point lead, it is Southport Sharks leading the Morningside Panthers. Thank you for joining us for the 2025 Bond University QAFLW Grand Final.
Inside this building is a simulated hospital ward, a high-tech biomechanics lab, a commercial kitchen, and a whole virtual home. Let's explore the new Bond Institute of Health and Sport in just 61 seconds. This is the 12-bed simulation hospital ward. From day one, Bond students gain hands-on experience in allied health and exercise science. This is the Work-Play Lab, which gives students the opportunity to provide occupational therapy for our youngest, while the Activities of Daily Living Lab simulates a full home environment, giving students the chance to practice mobility work with our wisest. From sprinting to golf swings, this track can track it. Using pressure sensors and high-speed cameras, it can analyze anything from age-related conditions to elite sports training. Wow. The Kitchen Lab has solar-powered sustainable cooking stations, giving postgrad nutrition and dietetic students access to commercial-grade equipment. Thank you. Why don't you come and check out the Bond Institute of Health and Sport for yourself? Did you know Bond students have been in every Olympics since '92? How do they do it? I've got 61 seconds to race you through the life of a student in the Bond Elite Sport program. Strap in. Bond is known for its prowess in the sporting domain, supporting student athletes like Mia. Student athletes have access to flexible study loads, adjusted academic requirements, and tutoring. The top tier of student athletes even receive funding to assist with their travel and competition costs. Bond also runs 4 high-performance sporting programs that field competitive teams. There's netball, rugby, AFL, and swimming. With incredible facilities throughout campus, it means you can easily transition from this to this. Whether it's producing world-class athletes or offering scholarships to high-achieving students every single year, sport is alive and well at Bond University.
AFL 9s, it's footy for best mates looking to be teammates.
Cardio fiends after a bit of competition.
Legends of the game. Looking at making a comeback.
There's footy for when your week's pretty cooked. Or for fitting it in between classes.
It's footy!
It's footy.
It's footy.
It's footy for me.
Plenty to do around Brighton Homes Arena today. AFL Queensland try to make a big day of it. The food trucks are in. It's a wonderful venue and completely befitting of the Bond University QAFLW, which is a state league that we would love it. There have been times where I think we can claim it's the best in Australia. We're certainly working towards that. Jamie Stanton, it was a great start for Morningside in the second term.
Yeah, Morningside had a fantastic start in that second term. They were actually able to play some forward half territory game, which allowed them to put some score on the board, which is concerning for Southport because really they've only had about 4 inside 50s for 3 shots at goal nearly. So when they can get it inside 50, they're dangerous. They're just not getting it in there enough at the moment.
The connections inside 50, I mean, we're about to see a slew of Southport goals where with that one the ball fell to Fergus and she put it through. But there's a bunch of them now where they've created their own space with passing like that. Fergus was able to find a target here. The effort there from Sleep was magnificent, but the execution, well, maybe the wrong time. But yeah, Morningside probably haven't been able to quite do that inside forward 50.
No, they haven't. They haven't been able to win the ground ball to get that releasing handball that you're talking about to then get it inside a bit deeper. But that's also coming with the amount of entries you get too. So, you know, Morningside have done a really good job with the amount of entries they've had. They're just not able to get it down there. So it's probably about for them getting the ball and doing that higher up the ground to actually get the ball going inside 50 as we watch Zarafa's ridiculous left foot drop punt from the boundary line.
And I hope as long as that story's told, they also tell the bit that you added about the work that Olivia Marr did to create the space. Michaela Nurse going on another multi-bounce run, ended up with Caitlin Miller doing what she does, really.
Yeah, Michaela Nurse is an absolute jet, and the AFLW club that ends up with her will be very, very happy, and I hope it is mine personally. But yeah, she is a fantastic wingman. Has the ability in terms of running offensively, but her defensive work rate is super impressive.
Thank you very much, Jamie Stanton. Thank you so much for your company. We are looking forward to a great second half. Southport have the game by the scruff of the neck at the moment, but remember, Damien Richards has been in this position before and come up trumps.
Inside this building is a simulated hospital ward, a high-tech biomechanics lab, a commercial kitchen, and a whole virtual home. Let's explore the new Bond Institute of Health and Sport in just 61 seconds. This is the 12-bed simulation hospital ward. From day one, Bond students gain hands-on experience in allied health and exercise science. This is the Work Play Lab, which gives students the opportunity to provide occupational therapy for our youngest, while the Activities of Daily Living Lab simulates a full home environment, giving students the chance to practice mobility work with our wisest. From sprinting to golf swings, this track can track it. Using pressure sensors and high-speed cameras, it can analyze anything from age-related conditions to elite sports training. Wow. The Kitchen Lab has solar-powered sustainable cooking stations, giving postgrad nutrition and dietetic students access to commercial-grade equipment. Thank you. Why don't you come and check out the Bond Institute of Health and Sport for yourself? Did you know Bond students have been in every Olympics since '92? How do they do it? I've got 61 seconds to race you through the life of a student in the Bond Elite Sport program. Strap in. Bond is known for its prowess in the sporting domain, supporting student athletes like Mia. Student athletes have access to flexible study loads, adjusted academic requirements, and tutoring. The top tier of student athletes even receive funding to assist with their travel and competition costs. Bond also runs 4 high-performance sporting programs that field competitive teams. There's netball, rugby, AFL, and swimming. With incredible facilities throughout campus, it means you can easily transition from this to this. Whether it's producing world-class athletes or offering scholarships to high-achieving students every single year, sport is alive and well at Bond University.
AFL 9s, it's footy for best mates looking to be teammates.
Cardio fiends after a bit of competition.
Legends of the game. Looking at making a comeback.
There's footy for when your week's pretty cooked. Or for fitting it in between classes.
It's footy!
It's footy.
It's footy.
It's footy for me.
The body language from Morningside is positive as they return to Brighton Homes Arena. Their supporters are surrounding the gangway. Sienna Graham getting a bit of love on the way through. They are 35 points down, but remember that their coach Damien Richards once took a Cooperoo side from 31 points down to win a grand final. That was back in 2013, and that was Cooperoo's debut season. Southport Sharks, on the other hand, they're up by 35 points. And the reason you may not have seen them return to the field on camera is because they did it about 3 or 4 minutes ago. With me is JD Stanton. I'm interested in the mindset of why Southport came out there. Is that a mind trick? Is that a mind game?
I don't know if it's a mind trick, because as an opposition player, it doesn't affect me at all personally, because I'm too busy worried about myself and how wrecked I am at the time. But it's interesting to note that I think it's probably got more to do with Skinny's mindset and the fact that he's probably happy with where they're at, so he doesn't need to overload them with information, where Damo, on the other hand, is probably trying to feed them a potentially slightly shifted game plan, so he needs all the time he can get.
Do you see any, I mean, we've talked a lot about tactical changes during the game, which is kind of what I asked you to do, so thank you. But do you see any personnel changes? I mean, you've mentioned having the 2 tall rucks on the field at the time, and to be fair, there's probably been 2 goals where having a ruck as your back pocket hasn't worked. But do you see different players coming into the midfield? Like, do you put both Roy sisters in there, for example?
Yeah, so I would assume both Roys start in the middle. I would like to think Harley moves up to centre half forward and potentially even not ruck for a little bit, because she's very capable with ball in hand too. But they need to play forward half footy. So whoever's going to be able to win clearances and get the ball moving forward will give them the best chance to succeed. So in theory, he might as well go out there and lose by 100 in terms of Damo and Morningside, or win it by 1. He might as well try and win it. So put all his best users of the footy and his best players at the ball, or across centre half back and centre half forward to actually generate forward movement.
Thank you, Jamie. The look on the face of the team are pretty much as you would expect. It's not the law being laid down at the moment, but I think it's not quite a Remember the Titans speech, but I think the inspiration is there. Lucy Bellinger's been there, done that in both South Australia and Queensland. You mentioned Harley McElwain before. I felt that one of the good providers of the ball in the forward 54 Morningside has been number 44 Zoe Petrides as well. So I wonder whether there are ways of releasing her a little bit more often.
Well, they've already made one change. Lucy Bellinger's started down in defence, so she might play as their spare behind the ball to try and get a bit of more out of her. And we're looking at their midfield now. Both Roy sisters are in there, but Izzy Levine isn't. So I would have thought that you would roll with her, but I do think Greta is tagging Zarafa, or has tried to at least in parts of the game, so potentially that might be a move as well.
Third quarter underway, and Jamie's given us plenty to look at as just a hook kick from Laura Roy, finds Peacock, and she gets into a bit of space, able to get away from Suckling. The kick inside isn't as sweet as she'd like. Able to be cut off at the back by Ingram. She's brought to ground. Hit the ground a little bit heavy. Spills forward towards Graham, who began at centre half forward. Baldwin, surprise in defence. Fogus. Baldwin began as a defender and then moved forward. It was rather successful. Crabtree inside to Fogus. This is the kind of play that they've shown us over and over again this year. Over the head of Ma. Spills forward to Barron. Umpire spotted something. Free kick comes back to Ma. Guessing it was just a push. There's a time to go for a shot in this situation, but I think on this occasion Ma will get very close to the player on the mark, which cannot be in the plan. Levine went wide, being chased by Hennessy, goes without it. Head over the ball, Suckling. Gracie Roy gets a hand in the way. Again, there's a whistle. Morningside will get a chance to get out of danger. Just to pick up on your point before, Levine was named at half forward, which I thought was a bit of a surprise, but it was clearly part of the plan A. As Hannah Davies tries to hook around the body, Ma got a horrible bounce and still makes it work. Then got a clatter in the back, and Ma wins the free kick. It did look like a clumsy challenge from Lawrence.
So Liv will be looking to pass this off for sure now. She's had a couple of moments to forget, she will feel like, so she'll be looking to give this off to a teammate, and you can see looking at her eyes, she's looking for anyone else.
You called that yesterday, and when Dakota Barron's available, I reckon that's a pass I would have made. I'm not an expert at playing this game, but I reckon I would have got that one right.
It's funny in this moment in time, like you want someone to get out to Liv Ma and go, you're doing such a good job, you're getting your hands on the ball so many times and you're being so impactful So have some confidence in that and bring that confidence to her kicking for goal, which will then obviously allow her to feel way more confident when she goes through that set shot routine again.
Interesting moment here for Dakota Barron. Her set shot's improving, but it's definitely not as strong a part of her game as her contested marking. She's kicked through that one. Dakota Barron has scored in back-to-back grand finals for Southport.
And I'm pretty sure Dakota just pulled out a goal celebration too, so don't know what it is because I'm way too old to know what any of those are, but I'm sure after the game she'll give me some info on it.
Jamie, you and I are a TikTok-free zone. Someone who's probably... there we go. Yes, the hands up to the side of the head. Ash Newton-Spence on the boundary. Ash, what can you tell us?
I just got a out down here for Morningside. Tiffany O'Keefe received a concussion just before the end of the first half, and so probably more than likely won't take any further part in this game.
Thank you very much, Ash. And bad news for Tiffany O'Keefe, an 18-year-old who has grown into this year so much as a fullback. So we'll talk about the implication for their defence in a moment. Meanwhile, Suckling's going to get forward to Barron. She could have 2 in 2 minutes here.
Fantastic ruck tap from Georgia Davis there into space with Fogus running onto the ball and just put it out in space for Dakota to lead into. It's very hard to drop those when they're nice out in front.
It didn't quite require her full set of skills.
And that's what you love as forward, when you don't have to do much and the midfields do all the work.
As long as you don't become a Cinderella where it's, a Goldilocks. Dakota Barron. First goal was a minute ago. Doubles the tally instantly.
No goal celebration this time, just the double cobra, which I'm sure when she watches this back, she might be a little bit cringeworthy knowing her standards. So it'll be interesting to see what she thinks about it.
She probably needs to get onto the Southport social media team and just say, look, can you cut that bit? Just cut to something else at that point. So, which just nice little segue. The work done by the Southport and Morningside social media teams this week.
She might have thrown out a shush. Oh, she did too. Ooh. I missed that to start with. I love it. You know who will love it? Reece Shaw's little son, Louis. He is an absolute goal celebration fiend. So if he's watching or Reece is watching, Louis will love it.
Louis Shaw, that one was for you, and you can get Dakota Barron's autograph later. Sonny Lappin bursts out of the middle from another tap. Barron, did she get a push in the back? Jamie Stanton saw it. Umpire didn't. Ball up about 25 from goal.
No forward is ever overrunning the ball and then falling over. Yeah.
With respect, I've seen some male players who that's all they ever do, but that's a totally different issue. Goes wide to Lappin. Tried to handball. It was slick, it was quick, and it didn't work. Maher on the ground, locks it inside 50. Once again, Davis to Lappin, and it should have been to Barron.
Oh, it'd be nice to have those three in your team, wouldn't it?
Morningside nearly had a clearance. Levine back on the ball. Possibly conceding 2 goals quickly. They thought, no, let's revert to the other plan, whereas he's in the middle. And then Laura Roy was thrown to ground, gets the free, moves on quickly, didn't quite get to the target in Arthur. Arthur makes it work, stops, props, thank you, Bruce. Goes wide to Petrides. Petrides on a run, mainly because there was no way forward, had to go back. Levine just stood and waited for that ball, and it meant that 3 Sharks were able to pounce on it. In the end, Gracie Roy said, this is how you attack a ball, and demonstrated. Crabtree nearly wrestled it free. Crabtree twins moved up from GWV Rebels this year. They've had brilliant first years. Bindi began in seniors, ended up in reserve. She's already got a premiership today. Barron brings it to ground. Crabtree looking for space. It was shut down. Handballs to Maher. Maher steps inside. Olivia Maher. Look, it's that kind of day that we know her class.
She couldn't catch a cold if COVID was back in vogue at the moment, unfortunately for Liv, but that's okay. But isn't it cool to watch Dakota Barron fly for the footy?
Well, you made a point before, what every marking coach tries to teach their players is to take the ball at the top of the flight. Dakota does that better than most. Olivia Maher on the charge on the way through. Beat a few tackles, steps, gets a shot away. It's cruel. It's just cruel. Cleared by Blyton. Lappin will probably drain this and then say to Olivia, this is how you do it. Lappin has a No, misses to the right. But there has been a whistle.
There's a Morningside player down.
Oh, beg your pardon. Thank you.
Top of the...
It's Gracie Roy. Now, if they've already lost Tiffany O'Keefe for the match. If they lose Gracie Roy as well, problems.
Gracie Roy has probably been Morningside's best player today. They've got some real problems no matter what, whether she is hampered or has to come off totally.
She's skillful, but also a competitive beast. We're just seeing Olivia Maher's Shane Warne leg break. If she was trying to make the ball land in the goal square and then turn away from it, she's a genius.
I don't know if there's a lot in this. Oh, no.
Look at Gracie, yeah.
Yeah, Gracie's just jumped up and down and tweaked an ankle, so I feel you, Gracie.
Well, she's getting off unaided, so that's a good sign.
It's a great sign.
And I think you can remove the word probably from your sentence before. I think she has been Morningside's best today. And she's a competitive, she's very skillful, but my goodness, she's competitive, and I don't mean any criticism by that. Sunny Lappin goes a little wide to improve the angle. It's been a good year for Sunny Lappin.
It's been a fantastic year for Sunny Lappin, and I am sure it'll only get better as she moves closer to December.
Not the bravest prediction you've made, and look, I do not like it when male sports commentators at a women's sporting event draw attention to the men. But given that it's Father's Day, I think it would be remiss of me not to say that seeing Sunny Lappin on the field and Matt Lappin on the boundary, there's beauty there.
Oh, definitely. I'm sure in our great game we have the father-son rule or the father-daughter rule, and you know, soon that'll change to daughter-son as well and things like that. So I'm sure Matt is extremely proud of his child and what potentially will end up happening towards the back end of the year for her.
So the 5-6-5 infringement, which was simply because Southport were running a change as Barron moves into the ruck, and she missed her bus on the way there. Loses out, which is possibly because she was exhausted by the time she got there. They're going to win the clearance anyway. Comes through Watt to Zarafa. Zarafa handballs over the top to Crabtree. Crabtree's got an acre of space. Looking up to the front contest, goes to O'Brien. And that was a lack of confidence with her knee. It has stayed in, knocked back. They've done enough. Yeah, a fit Steph O'Brien just charges onto that and kicks the goal.
Yeah, and I think unfortunately at the moment we're seeing what a tired Morningside and potentially a deflated Morningside looks like when they know the game's probably lost. Southport are full of energy and are running onto things, whilst Morningside, it looks like it's taking them extra energy to get back to support here.
I think this is one of those days where you don't really need to look at the third quarter as being the premiership quarter. Southport just go, well, there's 4 quarters in the game. Let's see if we can dominate all of them.
This has been the first quarter, though, we've seen Southport actually be expansive with the ball and look really clean.
Well, I suppose, they love the way they play and they're proud of it. That has been their plan A. Back to that thought in a moment as Zarafa goes towards the hotspot, taken by McCormick, whose career I'm enjoying watching develop. She was ignored by the academies and junior sides, but she's excelled at QAFLW level, mainly as a halfback, obviously playing deeper right now. Commentator's curse. That one was my fault. Kicks it to Miller, finds Hannah Davies. And I think everyone who's been involved in the Southport women's program for a long time would love to see their original captain, Hannah Davies, get on the scoreboard on grand final day. Another player who, if we kept score assist statistics of this competition or score involvements, we might see something more like her true value. Hannah Davies appears to have scooped it, may still have the distance, off to the right. Morningside bringing it out through McCormick. Intercept mark, so they go back inside 50. It goes to Watt, to Crabtree. Crabtree shoots from about 40. Beautifully taken on the line from Gibson. Gibson clearing, got Ash standing by. We want to go down to her, just want to also get outside of 50. So we don't have to do the hold the phone trick. Knocked outside 50. It's going to be brought back in with interest. And taken at the top of the...
Lovely.
Tiani Brown, she can play anywhere on the field. I've never seen her in ruck, but she could probably do it. Brilliant halfback, brilliant winger, can play on the ball, target forward.
But just Michaela Nurse's ability to run onto the ball cleanly and then lower her eyes at speed. That's a skill set not everybody has. And it's a skill set required at the next level.
So Tiani Brown. So they probably played most of this year in defence and has still kicked 9 goals this year, including a couple playing forward in the semi-final win over Morningside. It's a simple style. That's a big punch in the air. Take notes, Dakota Barron. Tiani Brown has a goal. Let's go down to Ash Newton-Spence.
So Gracie Roy just had her left ankle re-strapped and has just re-entered the field of play to take her place for the rest of this quarter.
Thank you very much, Ash. And while we are quite rightly praising the Southport attack and Tiani Brown's aerial leap, it is notable that maybe things were a little bit easier for Southport inside front 50 when you've got both O'Keefe and Gracie Roy off the field.
Oh, significantly. Significantly. Gracie, like we spoke about already, has been Morningside's best player. So when you don't have her to go through, it makes it a lot easier for them.
Now again, as the resident stats nerd here, the highest score by one team in a QAFLW Seniors Grand Final is 95. Not about that at the moment. Sienna Graham burst forward. First inside 50, I think, of this quarter. They're not going to get an inside 50 disposal because Lee Alder produces 99 games of experience to take an intercept mark at the back. Play it out wide. Megan Hunt's in space, and Water makes things wet. Georgia Davis. Handballs inside to Suckling. Put herself under a little pressure. Zarafa just kind of a little bit lackadaisical. Tiani Brown found Ingram. Ingram, who does look like a young Rihanna Ship. Out wide to Nurse. Been very involved, particularly in this quarter. O'Brien.
That's fantastic play from Southport, end to end, showing their class across the ground. Obviously, the defenders haven't had a whole lot to do today, but their ability to stay engaged in the game and still follow through with the ball movement and the ball patterning that Skinny's after, very impressive.
Steph O'Brien, I thought she might try to lay it off. Didn't quite get the distance she wanted. Still falls to Miller. She's got black, white and red arms around both arms.
Steph must be hampered by that ankle because she would normally take that every day of the week.
Yeah, there's no mystery there. Georgia Davis. Well punched away by Lucy McCormick.
I've got a fun fact for you. Georgia Davis actually has a severed tendon in one of her toes at the moment because she was helping her dad do some stuff around the house. So she's playing nearly 9-toed apparently.
Whatever opinion you already had of Georgia Davis, just increase it. Hard work on the ground. It's not pretty at the moment. Falls to Ma. Ma looking for space. Olivia Ma! She's nearly provided a mark. Lilcock taken over the boundary by Fogus. I want to go big for it. So it's going to be, if she slots one, it's going to be one of the big stories. It's going to be one of the big sort of subplots of today. I don't care how big a Morningside supporter you are. Davis goes check side. Nearly found her near namesake in Hannah Davies. Peacock ran straight into Zarafa. That cannot be fun. Running into Zarafa is the kind of play that keeps dentists in business. Out towards Fogus. He's well touched. Inside to Zarafa. She's on her left foot. Brilliant charge down. And then taken, dribbled through by Brown. Tiani Brown threaded the needle.
It was ultimately very, very scrappy. But Southport just kept turning up. And they've been able to showcase today that they can do or score goals with clean, efficient ball movement. But they can also do it in a contested style fashion as well. So, you know, good on Southport for showing us both sides of their game.
And I think you make an important point there, is that sometimes when we analyse any team, we look at their dominant trait and we say, oh, well, that's what they do all the time. Southport's plan B has been pulled out many, many times this year. If the other team wants to make it contested, they just say, bring it on, we'll beat you at the contest.
Yeah, and they have some fantastic contested weapons too in Watt, Fogus, Zarafa, O'Brien. So they've probably got some of the best contested players in the comp as well.
And for anyone who's grown up with Tiani Brown in the Shepparton area, welcome to the broadcast. She's a big favourite in certainly this half of the commentary box. Tiani Brown's provided a lot of highlights in the time that she's been up here in Queensland. They've got an inside 50, just fell short of Petrides. Hunt said, get away from me, you dirty ball. Zarafa, Lappin. Lappin has a lot of Brighton Homes Arena in front of her. That is a good intercept mark and something that Morningside have needed a lot more today. That time it was Neva Bell. Some lovely stepping out of defence. That's from Sleep. The handwork was better than the footwork. Fogus, and one of the best on ground in the second half. Davis, Lappin, Zarafa. Brown's on her own. Don't take the lack of raise in my voice as being unimpressed. It's just I'm marvelling at beauty, but also I've seen it before, but it doesn't matter. I love seeing the way they play over and over again.
Yeah, it's funny. It's the way you called it too. It's a known quantity that this person will handball to this person and this person will kick it to this person, isn't it? It's like the story's already been written.
Tiani Brown has the last 2 goals in this match. She's worked out the win. Tiani Brown has a hat trick in 6 minutes.
Not been a bad quarter of footy from Southport. Am I 6 goals?
6
7 goals?
First 2 to Barron, third one to Lappin, next 3 to Brown.
It's not a bad little quarter of footy at all.
It's almost like they take offence every time Morningside get an inside 50. It's like, how dare you? We're going to score a goal now. Because I think every time Morningside's gone inside 50, they've just said, oh, space. We like space. Let's use this.
And there's not enough superlatives to talk about Southport anymore, to be honest, isn't there? We've spoken about how they use the ball really well on the outside, how they're very contested. Their pressure's been very good too. So it's one of those games where they're now just running away from it. Now
you've quite rightly and succinctly put the kibosh on Southport being AFLW standard. I'm not going to bring that up again because I value my body. Suckling, I'll complete that point in a moment. So Suckling moving back. She's brought to ground. I don't think there's anyone in Australia who actually watches all the state leagues around Australia. But I would love to know, is this Southport side, if you put them up against the premiers in the other states, are we looking at the best state league team in Australia? And I don't think anyone watches enough state league football across the country to actually answer that question. I kind of cut you off there, Jamie. Sorry about that.
No, I think it's a very fair and valid point. It's probably an interesting one to note that, like, I don't believe the VFL have access to their 18s as much as Queensland does, though. I could be wrong in that.
Good point as Ingram cleans up in defence. Probably one of the few indecisive moments for Southport today. And then McDonald gets caught unaware. Plays allowed to continue. Much to the Morningside fans' consternation. There will be a ball up about 48 metres out. The 9-toed Davis just hands it back to the umpire. Dixon.
Sorry, I should clarify. She still has all of her toes, definitely. I just don't know if they're all working.
Oh, what you said was perfect. I was just exaggerating for a better story.
I know, Georgia might kill me later, though, if people think she's only got 9 toes. So
just blame me. Just blame me. It's fine. I, too, am a known quantity in this competition. So. Boundary throw in. Morningside finally have some disposals inside front 50. Petrides didn't get full purchase. Knocked inside, fell to Suckling. Semi-cleared by McDonald, not her best kick. I think the whistle had gone before that. Morningside will have a set shot. I missed the signal, Jamie. Did you happen to pick it up?
Yeah, it was high contact. A player coming back with the flight of the footy jumped, and as they were coming down, just coat-hanged the Morningside player.
So Kylie Lawrence, as I say, lost 2 grand finals with Cooperoo in 2017 and 18. Been playing QAFLW for Morningside, now in a QAFLW grand final with Morningside. and the defender has a goal.
That's a reward for effort on Morningside's part. You can tell we're playing the final in Brisbane, can't you? The Morningside fans are very loud.
I do like now, it does depend on which VFL team and AFLW teams need the ground on a given day. But I do like the idea that we could sort of keep alternating between Brisbane. Maybe if Sunshine Coast gets a stadium, we can sort of have a 3-venue rotation. But
they're a part of the Lions. This is their home venue.
Spoken like an ex-Lion, now son. Fogus breaking through, over the head of Roy. Cleaned up at the back by Scott. Scott does well. There were just too many Sharks there. Laura Roy picks it up, breaks the tackle. I don't think Laura Roy's premiership day will be today, but you wouldn't think she'd finish her career without a grand final. When Peacock took too long, Fogus ran her down, then broke a tackle. Fogus has been outstanding in this quarter. She's been outstanding for the last 2 years. Laura Roy working hard, got it forward to Peacock. A few steps, ran out of space. Arthur. 3-quarter time. Southport 6-1 in that quarter. 13-7-85. Morningside 3-1-19. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back here at Brighton Homes Arena shortly.
Hospital ward, a high-tech biomechanics lab, a commercial kitchen, and a whole virtual home. Let's explore the new Bond Institute of Health and Sport in just 61 seconds. This is the 12-bed simulation hospital ward. From day one, Bond students gain hands-on experience in allied health and exercise science. This is the Work Play Lab, which gives students the opportunity to provide occupational therapy for our youngest, while the Activities of Daily Living Lab simulates a full home environment, giving students the chance to practice mobility work with our wisest. From sprinting to golf swings, this track can track it. Using pressure sensors and high-speed cameras, it can analyze anything from age-related conditions to elite sports training. Wow. The Kitchen Lab has solar-powered sustainable cooking stations, giving postgrad nutrition and dietetic students access to commercial-grade equipment. Thank you. Why don't you come and check out the Bond Institute of Health and Sport for yourself? Did you know Bond students have been in every Olympics since '92? How do they do it? I've got 61 seconds to race you through the life of a student in the Bond Elite Sport program. Strap in. Bond is known for its prowess in the sporting domain, supporting student athletes like Mia. Student athletes have access to flexible study loads, adjusted academic requirements, and tutoring. The top tier of student athletes even receive funding to assist with their travel and competition costs. Bond also runs 4 high-performance sporting programs that field competitive teams. There's netball, rugby, AFL, and swimming. With incredible facilities throughout campus, it means you can easily transition from this to this. Whether it's producing world-class athletes or offering scholarships to high-achieving students every single year, sport is alive and well at Bond University.
AFL 9s, it's footy for best mates looking to be teammates.
Cardio fiends after a bit of competition.
Legends of the game. Looking at making a comeback.
There's footy for when your week's pretty cooked. Or for fitting it in between classes.
Ha! It's footy!
It's footy.
It's footy.
It's footy for me.
Southport dominating the third term, 6-1. The first 2 to Dakota Barron, then to Sunny Lappin, a hat-trick to Gianni Brown. Kylie Lowen's got one back. We've got Matt Lappin, Southport coach, down on the ground with Ash Newton-Spence.
Matt, you're on the cusp of your second grand final win in 2 years. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, obviously we're feeling great. We're just so proud of the way the girls have played, and our brand of footy has been awesome. So hopefully the people at home have enjoyed watching us play.
I saw you and Sunny have a nice little dance on the boundary line after that goal. What were you telling her?
She's got some issues with her celebration, so we can work on that later on, but she's had a terrific game, like a lot of our girls.
Awesome. Well done. Congratulations. Have a good rest of the game.
Very relaxed Matt Lappin. Most of the work's been done. But I suppose the danger of a dominant team coming into a grand final, Jamie Stanton, is that, everyone can say, oh, you were the best team of the year. But at that moment, you haven't actually won anything yet. You've got to then finish the job.
Yeah, and they've showcased today that they've been able to finish the job and finish the job in a numerous amount of ways, which is the impressive part, like we've spoken about already, is that they've won this game in each quarter in a different fashion, which has been quite interesting.
No miracle today for Morningside. Plenty of positives for them across the season, and by virtue of how we spend our lives, I've probably seen a bit more of it than you have. But this is a team that I looked at their squad on paper and thought, great personnel, it's going to take a year to gel. It hasn't taken a year to gel. They've managed to basically be one win off the minor premiership in their debut year. As Gracie Roy, I think, has been moved into the ruck,
Let's go!
which is a role that several coaches have played. Kira Zarafa goes deep inside 50. Barron came from very deep. Trust me, I've seen her land those, and it's worth double the price of admission. Michaela Nurse battling hard, was able to get past Blyton, went without it. Gibson needs to go to a contest. Arthur, she'll have the speed. Well shepherded over the line by Melita Watts. Lasso free kick.
It's funny, I would like to see Damo move some of his younger players up and around the contest a little bit more. So I've spoken about Harley McWayne already, and Zoe. I can't pronounce her last name. Please,
Petrides.
Thank you. Those girls are some really talented youngsters that it would be interesting to see how they go in these bigger moments. I know the game's done, but it would be cool to see them under the pressure of Southport playing higher up the ground.
You don't need my approval, but I couldn't agree more. Oh, bit of a slip, and thankfully it happened early enough, and she stayed down. The free kick had to be paid, but I don't think Annabelle Peacock gets any criticism. But Olivia Marr. Okay, fourth quarter, game's done and dusted. Is this where you go to hell with it and just have a bomb?
She won.
That wasn't the question. Olivia Marr goes deep. Well taken by Barron. Yeah, fair call, Jamie. You clearly know what you're talking about.
More just because that distance range. It wasn't in the range for a... sorry, I thought I'd be quick because I saw the ball coming out. But, yeah, it's just not in her range. But also, that's not her personality type.
It's a very good point. And, of course, we would have got to know Olivia a bit in Tasmania, so...
Yeah, it was a fantastic asset for us down there. Again, had a day where she just attacked the footy so hard for us and was very close to being given best on ground medal that day.
But Dakota Barron kicked the first 2 goals of the third quarter. Her set shot's improving all the time. She is nearly the full package. And sadly, maybe we're watching her last game in the Bond University QAFLW.
I'm just loving all the goal celebrations she's throwing out there. I might need her to teach me some.
Careful what you wish for, Jamie Stanton.
I think she rolled out the love heart this time round.
She did. Which possibly means not only does she know whether, in fact, there is a Southport cohort in the direction of the celebration, but of course Southport has the wonderful services of Dion Menzies of High Flyer Images, and the players for some reason always seem to know where he is as well.
That's unlike a women's team to know where a camera is.
So University of Queensland in 2021, as Sunny Lappin breaks away, gives it to Kira Zarafa. The all-time record for highest team score in a grand finals on the line. O'Brien unable to complete the mark. Well cleared by Bell. Only comes out as far as Lappin. Gracie Roy clears. Correction, hacks. Arthur. Keeps it going wide. That's almost a Gaelic football player just popping it up to herself. Was run out of play by Sleep. Yeah, 2021 grand final when UQ beat Bond came from behind. They ended up winning 95-55. Dakota Davidson kicked forward that day. She knew where the cameras were.
She always knows where the cameras is.
Oh, you've met Dakota?
Unfortunately, a few times. Too many on the field when she's kicking them against me.
McDonald. Goes back to Watts. Play caught in the centre square. Just been called. We'll go down to Ash Newton-Spence. Ash, what have you got?
So Morningside now down to 3 on the bench with an ankle injury to, oh goodness, I just lost what her name, Harley McIlwain has come off with an ankle injury.
Sunny, rotate!
Miller, thank you, Ash. Playing it forward. O'Brien knew the player was on her. There was space behind her, played on quickly. And Greta Lilcock, to her credit, was able to get in the way. Not sure whether she had to play on quickly. Maybe there was a touch that I didn't see. Lawrence, the goal scorer, gets it wide, goes through the hands of Bell, turns it over to Miller. Miller has a bit of time and space. And in the end was probably lucky to get a minor score.
It'll be interesting to see what or how the Morningside girls approach this last quarter. Are they just trying to limit damage, or are they going to try and play a little bit of brand footy to move into next season with?
I'd like to see them basically just try to play their way and work out, okay, what can we get out? As McDonald takes a good intercept mark. What can we get out of this quarter? Can we give ourselves a moment where we can at least go to the, go hang out later and say, well, what about that amazing goal in the last quarter? It didn't make a difference, but as we won it. I think Maddie Baldwin was appealing for deliberate, forgetting that it was her free kick anyway because of the lasso. But what an asset to any club for Maddie Baldwin, who began as a defender, then became a brilliant forward. And today it was like, actually, for the balance of the team, we need you in defence, Maddie. Yep, cool, I got it covered. Zarafa. Well tackled by Petridis, timed to tackle well. Well, obviously, because I've got a microphone in my head, I'm not on social media at the moment, but as far as I'm concerned, in terms of best women's state league team in the country, let the debate begin as Mackenzie Sleep then moved up forward, tried to go to Bellinger in the pocket. McDonald got in the way. For the last 2 years, she's played for Muralbark. She won both grand finals and won best on ground in both grand finals. So today's old hat for her, as the player was tackled before getting possession. Crabtree. It's the deck off hands. Nurse thought she had it, ended up popping out to Roy. Had to get rid of it quickly, did so. And found Sleep in space. Popped it inside, found Sienna Graham. And I think Bond had pushed very high up the ground because there's a bit of space for Morningside to play with, and Petridis on the lead.
Now that's just reward for effort for Zoe here. She's had a really tough day in terms of the lack of inside 50s that Morningside have had, but she's worked her bum off going up and down the ground and attempting to keep pressure inside 50. So hopefully this goes through for her.
Zoe Petridis, big future, began Callumvale Juniors, moved to Morningside, and she's become a very skillful footballer, missing on this occasion. And the reason I know that is because she used to play against my son, and even as an 8-year-old, she didn't have the ball skills yet, but my goodness, she was fast. But yeah, when the ball was up the other end, she'd just stand there sucking on her fingers and swinging her leg. She doesn't do that anymore. Very much in the game. I think most 8-year-olds do that, to be fair, male and female. Good contest, just hits the ground. Olivia Marr has had an unlucky day, but I think we can praise her attitude until the cows come home, because premierships are won by players who just never give up. Out wide to Blyton. Couldn't quite connect inside. Fogus running through. Fogus has been outstanding today.
Morningside have an evidently play-on mentality in this last quarter. I feel like it's a little bit too late. I wouldn't have thought this would be how they want to play next year. I feel like this is a little bit of play on today and see what can happen mentality.
I know in some sports where, and I tend to do this more in training rather than fourth quarters or grand finals, but you do actually just go too fast, because sometimes you discover that your skills do work when you're going faster than you thought. So whether Damien Richards is saying, look, it's a big stage, go out there and see what you can do and see if you find something new within yourself. You might come out of it with a bit of belief. That's a guess. Handball from Marr to Zarafa. Kira Zarafa. And for a moment I thought that wasn't going to go through and it was going to bounce back to Barron. So they're 2 away from the record. They're 1 behind Cooperoo's winning score in 2019. I think it was the year you were playing for North Melbourne.
Yes. Yes, it was. You're testing my memory there too.
Oh, I'm just showing off to let you know I've done my research. And I'm old enough to remember. Scott. Cocked one around the shoulder. It was clever enough to get the handball away. Gibson. Worked hard in unfamiliar surrounds today. And then kicks it away to Suckling, who's done everything asked of her today, Emma Suckling. Lappin. Fogus. Has a lot of space. She has 2 bounces worth of space. Fogus is going to score here. Nope, falls short. The mark is dropped in the goal square. Was not able to release the ball. I think he tackled, rushed behind the ball up.
Looks like a ball up. Umpire looks like he's crossed himself, so it looks like a ball up.
In a non-Catholic way. I knew what you mean. Barron in the ruck, tried to knock it back to Brown. That's at the outside of the behind post for a throw.
Those are the moments you wish that the girls would just tap it through, because a behind there is actually better because you get the ball back instead of the stoppage.
Experience is what you get the moment after you need it. Zarafa with another opportunity. That's the record. Southport have the highest score ever by one team in a Bond University QAFLW Grand Final, and it came via the boot of Kira Zarafa.
Again, that's just really smart craft by Kira Zarafa in terms of getting the great body positioning, knowing that she's a left footer herself. Great tap from Dakota Barron and just quick little snap.
Third Southport Shark to get a hat-trick today after Tiani Brown and then Dakota Barron. 99. The 100 seems inevitable, but I hope they celebrate it. I hope every person here in black and white goes absolutely off their tree.
Raise the bat, hey?
Let's just say that I hope it comes via Tiani Brown rather than Dakota Barron. I prefer Tiani's celebration.
It's very old school of you, isn't it?
I'm a 48-year-old who's bald. Bit of forward momentum for Morningside, not able to make it last, turned around by Nurse. Maddie Hennessy with the intercept. Centres towards Peacock. Had to be sure with Ship on her back. Rihanna Ship was a very unlikely choice for, well, even vice-captain 3 years ago. I wasn't sure how she'd go as captain of Southport. I've never been more wrong in my life. She's been brilliant. Beautiful defensive mark from Neva Bell, and wore the bump as well. There's a very select group of people who can say they've held up a Premiership Cup twice in this competition. Rihanna Ship is about to become one, and well deserved.
Who does she join?
Well,
question on the spot.
Well, one of them's Megan Hunt. I believe there are a few years when Emma Zilke was clearly the dominant player for Cooper, but she wasn't necessarily the captain. But I think she would have held the cup aloft in 2013 to 15, so she may have been a 3-time captain. And of course, we don't have the captains when Logan Cobras won 5 in a row, back when they had people like Katie Brennan and Jade Pagelli and Astor O'Connor and co back in the late noughties. And that's an extraordinary mark, taken with every body part available by Sunny Lappin, who I think is given one of the better Father's Day presents you'll ever see. Megan Fogus. Beautiful work coming out of defence, and then showing it a bit as well. Neva Bell just making sure there's eyeballs on her. Finds Petrides. McDonald. Hasn't been able to get into the game today, Courtney McDonald, but she can be spectacular, even at this late stage of her career. Rare mistake from Baldwin. Chance for Morningside. Bellinger wants to play on quickly. Simone Arthur's on the lead into the pocket. Maybe the kick needs to be a little bit lower and more direct. Arthur makes the best of it. Nearly wins a 1-on-2. Boundary throw-in.
It's a rare 4A forward for Morningside here. So hopefully they can lock it in this forward half and get a little bit of reward for effort, because they have put up a good fight today against Southport.
O'Brien crashing through. Southport able to clear. Coming towards Caitlin Miller. He's just knocked away from Kylie Lawrence. Some very clever play. The check side kick didn't quite work the way it was intended, and it smiles all round on the face of Willie McDonald. And a bit of crashing around as Kira Zarafa turns herself into a dodgem car. Ball up.
That's the difference between an adult body and an under-18 body right there. Ella will fill out and grow some really strong muscles as a key tool, where Kira's already there.
Will just be a ball in. Appeals for the Lasses. Sonny Lappin's not happy. I mean, as unhappy as you can be when you're 99-20 up in the grand final with about 5 minutes to go. It's a miserable time in life. Ship. Crosses. Finds Nurse. Nurse in space is a thing of beauty. Commentator's curse. That's entirely my fault, Michaela. Simone Arthur diving over the top a la Davidson in the 2023 AFLW Grand Final. Nurse wins the free kick. Finds it wide. Ingram pulls out the party tricks for one moment. Southport social media put some good music behind that and just replay. I know it didn't work, but still replay it. Michaela Nurse gets it back. This time the bounce works. She's running at about half speed and still has time for 2 bounces. Goes to the contest. McCormick had front position. They all got in each other's way. Rihanna Ship! There would have been a certain poetic justice if it had been Ship to bring up the 100. Crowd's in party mode. Nearly went to Barron. Laura Roy provided a big target. Bit of twisting and turning on the ground. And Levine wins the free kick. And Jamie Stanton felt that one.
Yeah, that one looked like it hurt.
You're already in pain. Petrides. Obviously not the most intense final term of this grand final, but Gracie Roy's pretty intense on the field. Gets a horrible bounce from McDonald, allows Melissa Watts back into the game. McDonald tracks her. Watts has enough running. Kick didn't quite go where she wanted and then spun away from Lucy McCormick. She gets a second opportunity. There was a whistle before she handballed. Southport has the free kick to Crabtree. Zarafa was on her own. Morningside looked tired. They're jogging back. Barron is not jogging. Barron ran hard. It's funny how success gives you energy.
Dakota has this, you know, she just needs to go back, take her 30, and have the set shot go.
I agree with you, and I look forward to many long bombs and accurate long bombs over the course of her career. Dakota Barron fools us all. Tried to set up Hannah Davies. Maddie Baldwin attacking. Zarafa. Laura Roy underneath it. Ma attacked it. Laura Roy tries to clear again, and this time it works. Goes to Gracie Roy. Route 1. Why not? Lee Alder was in front. Megan Hunt at the back. They're able to maintain possession. Hunt has an ineffective disposal. It can happen. Greta Lilcock.
It's a bit of volleyball at the moment. Just kick back to each other.
You're not the most tactically advanced football going on at the moment. Fogus still got a handball away. Ineffective, but just the fact that she got it in the first place. Zarafa, I think that came off the shin. O'Brien. Ma. Chips it wide because she saw that Caitlin Miller had her own real estate. Miller will kick short, a little bit too short. I think they're trying to set Hannah Davies up. They recognise her importance to the Southport club, and I think there's a bit of a get one to Hannah going on at the moment.
It does have that feel to it, doesn't it?
Melita Watts circled around that well, got the handball to Watts. High contact, free kick comes back to Watts. Zarafa in the middle of the field. And that's a fourth quarter. We've already won a premiership stake. Zoe Petrides doing her best for Morningside. They've been up against it today, Morningside, because it's turned over to Lily McDonald. This Southport team, maybe we've never seen a team in the Bond University QAFLW. In fact, I want to take the word maybe out of that, who has moved the ball the way Southport does, who backs each other up the way they do. They have answered every criticism. The greatest Bond University QAFLW team to date are the 2025 Southport Sharks, your premiers. Southport, 15-9-99, have defeated Morningside 3-2-20. I realise that people in my position are prone to get excited and call out superlatives. We've had some wonderful sides in the 25-year history of the Queensland Women's State League under various names. But I make no apologies for saying that this year's Southport side is playing the best football that any club team in Queensland has ever played. They deserve their success. They've worked hard. Let's go down to the ground. Jamie Stanton's joining the success. Apologies, Sarah. Sorry. In the excitement, Jamie Stanton will be down with the coaches shortly as soon as she can grab them. The goal scorers today for Southport was Zarafa and O'Brien in the first term. Fergus, O'Brien, Lappin, Zarafa and Miller in the second term, with Bellinger and McElwain scoring for Morningside. 6 unanswered goals to start the third quarter. 2 to Barron, 1 to Lappin, 3 to Brown. Kylie Rollins got a late goal for Morningside. And then Dakota Barron and Kira Zarafa scored in the fourth term. Maybe it's fitting that they ended on 99. It leaves room for improvement. It suggests that the team's not perfect, and they're not perfect. But we've never seen a women's state league team produce this kind of football. And I'm not just talking about today. Aspley were grand finalists 2 years ago. They made a preliminary final last year. Southport beat them by over 100 points. Playing football where every player on the field knew their role, backing each other up constantly. Every coach that comes up against them says the thing about playing Southport is that every single one of them is reading from the same sheet. There's no egos. They all know what they're doing. The other thing I've had said to me by opposition coaches and players this year is that they thought that Southport might beat them on the field and then have a bit of attitude about it. And they say, actually, when Southport beats you, they beat you with football, and then they come over and they say, look, you put us under pressure. If you guys could have taken your marks, you would have put us under pressure today. They are a humble side. Leanna Shipp is the perfect captain for them. She is both hungry and humble. And this Southport side has been thrilling to watch this year. Teams that play Southport play better the next week. The number of teams that have won the week after facing Southport is incredible. Every player on that side, you can see Tennille Langdale from the Blues, but Willie McDonald came back up to Southport this year from a few years with Mirrabah. Jamie Stanton's on the field. Ashley Newton-Spence has rejoined me in the commentary position. What a team. Well, we're looking at go here. Kira Zarafa scoring in the first minute. And again, that just came off the back of ball movement. And Zarafa guided that through the post, which, apart from anything else, says there were no nerves. Steph O'Brien never has any nerves. She also doesn't have any knees at the moment. So good to see Lucy Bellinger on the scoreboard. And then Harley McElwain, a brilliant 16-year-old, scored. I think it was her who scored 10 goals in a Coates Talent League under-16 game a couple of years ago. And they kept saying, okay, it won't always be like that. Megan Fogus, one of the best players on the ground today. There's a 3-person panel that selects best on ground. For mine, Fogus is in the running. But I mean, the ball movement throughout the second term when they scored those 5 goals.
And what was magnificent about that was that Morningside, they did have a bit of a sniff for a couple of minutes there. You felt it. It was really there on the bench. You could feel the nerves coming from Southport. Oh God, this is their punch. Southport just counterpunched it straight back out, and it was done.
Sunny Lappin on the score sheet today. We assume it's probably going to be her last game in the Bond University QAFLW. This was the goal of the day. Kira Zarafa on her left foot on the narrow angle. Look, I think she's a real chance for the Zilke medal next week as well. She had an outstanding year. Caitlin Miller slotted back into the side beautifully, like she never went away. The feeling out there on the ground, I mean, obviously when you spoke with Matt Lappin at 3/4 time, he looked like he was just one banana lounge short of a holiday. but I mean, the feeling throughout the game, was it a case of, they're obviously taking it seriously, but the Southport looked like they always felt in control?
It was calm for, I'd say, 90% of the match. It was completely calm from both sides. I don't think at any point Morningside got particularly angry, upset, worried. they knew that today was a free shot. It didn't matter what happened today. They've almost already succeeded by getting this far. So today was just a free shot. There was just a couple of moments in that second quarter where it did sort of start to get a bit nervous for a minute. Southport got very quiet. And after those couple of extra punches back, it was all done. And it was just back to being chilled out. A lot of joy. There was a little, I don't know if you heard my cross with Lappin. All right, we're going down to the bench, down to Jamie down on the ground.
Third in a row. Right, so I'm down here with Rihanna Shipp, the two-time grand final winning captain now, 2 years back-to-back. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel amazing. It's such an incredible achievement for the club, and yeah, so proud to be part of it.
Now, I know you're the ultimate team person, but how are you feeling as a captain of a club that's, you know, come in recently, you know, in the last couple of years? How do you feel about this accomplishment?
Yeah, I feel incredible. I'm obviously super grateful that I have this opportunity. It's something I don't take for granted, and yeah, I'm super proud.
And so, like, your background obviously wasn't footy. You know, you've come to the sport late. What has footy given you?
So much that I didn't even think of when I joined. Just the teammates, the connections you build, the memories that you get with your teammates. It's something that you just have forever, and yeah, it's so special.
Now, go celebrate with your team. Good luck. Hold the cup up.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Jamie Stanton. You can see what it means to Rihanna Shipp. She's quite a shy person, but as the captaincy has sat well with her, I mean, all the media she's done this week, she's found her voice, and I think people listen now when she speaks in the Bond University QAFLW.
It's just awesome scenes out here from the amount of people that are down on the field. Tiani Brown's fan club's going a bit mental down there.
Probably mostly from Shepparton. So
fantastic to see. I love the posters. It did feel great down there, just the amount of noise you could hear the crowd. I know I heard Jamie say that it was impressive to see how many people were here. You definitely could hear them. It was a slightly Morningside. We are definitely closer to Brisbane today. But it was just a great game all round. I know Morningside will be very proud of themselves for getting as far as they have.
I think possibly one reason why a lot of people may not have turned up today is because Southport are quite dominant, and it was the result that ended up today. I must confess, privately, I thought Southport by 80 ended up being out by 1. So shows how little I know. But but I think they're missing the point. Is that okay? It might have been one-sided, but you get to see brilliance.
Yes.
You get to see excellence.
And there were brilliance, and there was excellence from Morningside as well as from Southport. Yes, you saw how good they were. And they are. We said it about the reserves earlier. They're just a class above everybody else.
Hello,
down to Josie
everyone.
Fielding on the field.
On behalf of AFL Queensland, I'd like to invite you to the official presentation ceremony of the 2025 Bond University QAFLW Senior Grand Final. What a beautiful day we've had here at Brighton Homes Arena. And congratulations to the Southport Sharks who've defeated Morningside today in the seniors. 15 goals, 9 behinds to 99 over Morningside's 3 goals, 2 behinds and 20 points. Today, Southport took out both the seniors and reserves competition. So congratulations. And we'd also love to give a special mention to Morningside for making it all the way to the grand final in their inaugural year in the QAFLW. I'd now like to invite Kieran Daly, our AFL Queensland Participation and Operations Manager, to help me with the presentation today. And before we get started, we'd like to make a special mention to our competitions manager, Mitchell Simpson, and Adrian Richardson, who runs the QAFLW competitions, and to all of our AFL Queensland staff here today. Thank you so much for your work to get this magical day done. And now to start with our presentations. I'd like to congratulate our umpires on their grand final appointments and thank them for their efforts today. To receive their grand final medallions, would you please welcome our field umpires, Jack Pledge, Jackson Whittle and Lucas Cosme. Our boundary umpires, Seb Sharp and Lucas Richardson. Our goal umpires, Elizabeth Smiley and James Tzikaris. Our emergency umpire, Mitchell Blazek. And our third scorer, Finn Maddock. Could everyone please give our amazing team in green a huge round of applause?
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Cheers.
And now I'd like to invite Kieran to come forward to present the medal for the player selected as best on ground in today's grand final. This medal is determined by a 3-person panel voting on a 3-2-1 basis. And I'm delighted to announce that the player judged best on ground in the 2025 Bond University QAFLW Seniors Grand Final from Southport. It's number 12, Sunny Lappin. Thank you so much. Thank you. Huge congratulations to Sunny. And now I'd like to invite our runner-up coach, Damien Richards from the Morningside Football Club, to say a few words about his team.
Yeah, so just a massive congratulations to Southport. It's sort of been the benchmark now for a couple of years, and I know as a club and as a group, we're sort of looking at you girls as to sort of how you go about things, and sort of like that's where we want to be moving forward. So you've got a great team, deserved today, best team all year, well done. Just to our girls, congratulations on the season. To be sort of 80 points off the best team in the competition in our first year, I think is a good start for where we want to be. But we've got a lot of work to do, and we've all got some really good attitudes, and I'm looking forward to ripping in next year. So well done, girls. So just quickly, I wanted to thank the umpires for today as well, our sponsors, Downtown Toyota, Place, All Sports Physio, the club at Morningside, obviously bringing a women's team into the QAFL this year. They've done everything that they can to sort of give us the best platform to succeed. So thank you to the club, as well as Jason Spears, the president. Thanks to all the volunteers that have been around the team this year, particularly around the medical team, Sam, G, and Brooke, for all your work around the girls, trying to get them up for game day. Thanks to all the coaches for helping out throughout the year, as well as Wayne, who's sort of leading up our female footy department. So thanks, congratulations to Southport again, and we'll be back hopefully next year.
Thanks so much, Damien. I'd now like to kindly invite Matthew Lappin from Southport to come forward to receive a premiership medallion and the match ball, as well as say a few words on behalf of his club.
Thank you so much. I'd like to start by congratulating Morningside on your season. There's only one team in this competition you couldn't beat, and it happened to be that group over there. So for your first year in the competition, you were outstanding. You're obviously building something really strong there, and we look forward to many more battles over the years. So you didn't win today, but you've had an outstanding season, so congratulations to you for that. To the QAFL, QAFLW, the umpires, the administrators, we don't get a day like this without everything that you guys do. So no competition if you guys aren't there. So thank you very much for what you do. To the Southport organisation, to Dean Botel and his board, we say thank you for everything we've ever required or needed. It's never too much of a hassle, and you've done a great job setting the club up for success. To the footy department, Jared Field, the GOAT, Davey Ashkar. He's the guy who does all the work. He's the brains behind it all. To the assistant coaches, Toddy, Corey and Otto, it's a bit of a thankless task. But you get paid in smiles and wins at the Sharks. So thank you for everything you do. To Crystal Scott, I mentioned you at halftime. That doesn't happen without the work you've done this year. Our game plan revolves so much around being the fittest team in the competition, and that was your brief at the start of the year, and for you to get the team in that condition with the injuries we had, we owe a lot to you. Thank you, Crystal. To all the families and partners of our teams, we say thank you for allowing us to do what we do. It takes a lot of time, effort and energy, and we can't do what we do without you giving up some of that time. So thank you to the families and the partners. To the super list, okay, there's 21 girls sitting down there, but the girls who played in the reserves, the girls who missed out, there's 65 players on this super list, and our goal at the start of the year was to be the best team. We wanted to go back-to-back, obviously in both grades, defend our titles from last year, but we wanted to be the best team outside of the AFLW. I think it's fair to say it's mission accomplished. Let's party.
Thanks so much, Matthew. Okay, it's now time to present the players from Southport with their premiership medals. And I'd like to ask Kieran Daly to again come forward and assist with the presentations. Okay, starting with number 1, Megan Hunt.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Number 3, Maddie Baldwin. Number 4, Hannah Davies. Number 7, Steph O'Brien. Number 10, Tiani Brown. Number 11, Lee Alder. Number 12, Sunny Lappin. Number 13, Michaela Nurse. Number 14, Madeline Watt. Number 15, Dakota Barron. Number 18, Lily McDonald. Number 19, Megan Fogus. Number 21, Kiara Zarafa. Number 24, Tyler Crabtree. Number 27, Georgia Davis. Number 28, Caitlin Miller. Number 29, Emma Suckling. Number 36, Olivia Ma. Number 44, Melita Watts. Number 46, Rihanna Ingram. And last but certainly not least, your captain, number 2, Reece Ship. And I'd like to welcome Coach Matthew Lappin back up onto the stage to join Ree. And now Kieran Daly will present the Premiership Cup to the winning captain and coach, your 2025 Bond University QAFLW Premiers, the Southport Sharks!
Good to see Matt Lappin claiming the title of the best team in Australia outside the AFLW. You won't find anyone in Queensland who disagrees. Ash Newton-Spence, thank you for your work today on your debut grand final.
It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and thank you also to Jamie Stanton, who, of course, was injured yesterday and joined us in commentary today. Thank you to all of you who tune in each week and watch this amazing state league. We have some incredibly talented women around Queensland. Thank you to Double Take for their support over the year broadcasting. Thank you to Bond University for their support financially of this competition. The Southport Sharks of 2025 have been a joy to watch. What will 2026 bring? You'll have to find out next year. Please join us again. In the meantime, the last 2 rounds of the finals of the men's TPIL Lawyers QAFL, they'll be shown over the next couple of weeks. But for 2025 in the Bond University QAFLW, it's goodbye.